Rocky.
Fifers arriving. Welcome to the Fifers, DD991 podcast. I'm Rocky, that's Gilly, it's Brett Hodges, Lil Tate, and Mick. And today we're going to talk about whatever comes to mind or whatever on our hearts. And Little Tate wants to start with whatever is on his mind and on his heart. So we'll let him go.
All right. So I don't know if you guys seen in the news just a little while back. Did you see the lady that set the guy, her guy friend, on fire for making a misogynist joke? So this happened in Australia, and I want to give this content creator a shout out because the coverage that they put on this is absolutely just hilarious.
I bet you I knew who it is. Go on.
I bet you do too. I haven't gave it away yet, but if anybody's seen this chick, right? Her name is Sugar Tits, right? Is the name of her channel.
You know what?
I've seen
Sugar Tits.
So
I saw her on Twitter or X.
yeah, her and her husband kind of do a dual podcast. He does a separate one, they'll do a combined, and then she'll do her own. And between them, they make some fucking great content out of Australia. So I'm going to play a little bit of this, kind of chop it up. But this is what I want you to hear, like conservative women feel about some of this fucking crazy ass feminist shit that's going on out here.
Hi, everyone.
But before
Welcome
you
back
play
to
it-
Sugar Tits
Oh,
channel.
sorry.
Now, you
What?
I want to know how she got the name Sugar Tits. That's what I want to know.
Well, her I think her husband is like a bear too. I don't know how she came up with Sugar Tits, but all I know is it's funny as hell. Your channel name is Sugar Tits, and you're putting out content. You deserve a hell of a lot more subscribers than 190K. Should be up there in the millions, especially from guys listening to this shit. And women too. You can learn a lesson from this girl.
Or it might be being shadow banned.
There's a possibility. That's why we're giving her a shout out. She's got tons of stuff on there. Let me open this up for you guys.
know over here we love to have a look at crazy feminists. And I tell you what, it doesn't get more crazy than this. An Australian woman has doused her so-called friend in 5 litres of petrol and set him alight for making what she felt was a misogynistic comment.
A 24-year-old woman who doused her friend in petrol and set him alight on the Victorian border has been...
And look at the look on this twat's face. You know she's totally digging this story.
Yeah. And what I love, like,
look at the look on her face. You can tell she's.
I mean, you know that whole country is run by feminists.
Yes, country.
So you know.
Don't worry, I got one for cunts later on here in a little bit.
Roger that.
7 years jail.
That's right, boys. So next time you're manspreading on the train or feel like mansplaining to a woman, just remember you might get lit on fucking fire. Is that singed testicles I smell? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Can you imagine? Is that where we've come? Is this where feminism has pushed bitches to? Resorting to violence of the extreme over a joke? Imagine being that weak of a bitch that you can't take a joke. I mean, you've got a cop over here where I live threatening to be cancelled because he posted on Facebook some comment about sandwiches not being made due to absent women or some shit like that. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. We've actually come to the stage where bitches don't mind burning a bugger for misogyny. But fear not, everyone. Justice has been served. And rightly so. What's even more unbelievable than the act itself is that a judge gave her 7 years in jail with...
See, I want to stop it there where she got 7 years in jail finally. And, you know, there's been all that talk about, you know, the double standard between what men do to women and then what women do to men. So finally, you know, 7 years to me isn't enough. You know,
Dude, that dude had third-degree burns over half of his body, and he was in a coma for days. If a man would have done that to a woman, they would have given him life. No possibility of parole, thrown the fucking key away. And due to the nature of his charges, they would have passed him around in prison like a fucking fleshlight.
They would have charged him with attempted murder.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
It's some men, they get 10 years or more just for slapping a woman.
and then you get passed around like a fleshlight, like Mick said.
Yeah.
All right, she got another section coming up that I enjoyed what she did. So we won't go through all of it, but
4 years until any chance of parole.
oh, fucking ads.
Of course.
Gotta love fucking YouTube, assholes.
Gotta have some propaganda with your facts.
And oh, you know, this chick's team pushed hard for the victim defense. Oh, he was antagonizing her. He was being sexist towards women. She's just a poor little woman who was pushed to the edge. Bullshit. Jail, bitch. Jail. Ha ha ha. So what exactly is the story behind this? Well, you see, this chick, Corby Jean Walpole, 24, claims she was suffering from depression and substance abuse. Okay, maybe the substance abuse shit explains lighting someone the fuck on fire. I wouldn't say being drunk as shit explains this away. Maybe some hallucinogenic like shrooms or acid, and she saw some great big fucking hulking alien that wanted to grape her misogynistically. But you can't blame being depressed when it comes to
as opposed to being raped.
Petrol over the top of
Can we at least just shout out Australian women and voices when they start cursing and going off is like the best fucking thing to listen to?
It is.
Oh, I like Australian women, man. I love them still to this day.
It's
You know what? I was sad that I was not single in Australia.
Like that was back in 2000. That's 25 years later, and
Yeah.
look at what happened to the country in that 25 years.
Yep.
Yep.
When they were sitting there on the fucking pier, I thought the stories were bullshit. And they were waiting on the pier to meet some American men. Like,
Oh yeah.
holy fuck, dude.
Yep.
They could even talk to court and say, yeah, I'm looking for this type of man, right? They're, this height, blah, blah, this build, all that shit.
Yeah. It was fucked up too because Hatch and them and McIlvaney got invited to this chick's fucking parents' house and they stayed with their parents while they fucking.
Well, it's because Hatch looks like someone, already looked like a grandpa.
Yeah, because he was.
You know,
God, you guys are
That's how Peru was for me though.
Yeah.
I had that whole family. I was at their house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was telling me that he got scared because there was a fucking wombat sitting on the porch, fucking couldn't figure out what was staring at him, thinking like raccoon and shit. Nah, it was a fucking wombat hanging out on the porch.
that's a funny name, Wombat.
Yeah, wombat.
It's just
Reminds me of the Mobats from fucking G.I. Joe.
well, and like, look at Beasley. Remember Beasley? OS?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He fucking married an Australian chick. They live in Australia now.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're the ones that are sugar tits.
All right, I'm gonna go on. She's got some pretty good jokes about this dude's name coming up. I can't remember at what time.
for someone's head and lighting the match that sets them ablaze. Miss Walpole pleaded guilty to one charge of burning or maiming by using corrosive fluid. Her victim, and can we just take a moment here to appreciate this dude's name? Jake Loader. Jake Loader, Mr. Loader, got set on fire for blokey sexist remarks. I mean, I'm not laughing at the fact that he got lit on fire. It's just that name. It's perfect. Jake Loader was found with life-threatening burns at a southern New South Wales home in Howlong on January 7th last year. In Howlong. Jake Loader from Howlong. How long's your misogynistic schlong, Jake? Poor bastard. I think the really
Then it goes on. She keeps making, she's making jokes about it, but it's just funny because you don't ever get to really hear like women that act like that, and they're out there, and just being Australian and just throwing this shit out, dude, is fucking great.
I'm going to subscribe to her now. I'm going to have to.
We're live on YouTube right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
To that episode.
Yeah, I'll link it in.
So
I'll link it in.
Someone can go like, oh, I want to see this video.
Yeah.
And they'll get more followers or whatever.
Yeah, I just want to give her a shout out. That came through, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I got to put this on."
I just subscribed.
I just want to know if her tastes like sugar, so I want to know.
Her husband, I'm sure, knows.
I think
There's
an actual meaning to that. It's not what we're.
I don't taste. Some taste salty.
That's good too, dude. It's like a fucking chocolate pretzel. You know, you get the sweet, you get the sour, you get a little breadiness if you get underneath where the sweat's been collecting, and it's all good. Oh, come on, Rocky. Don't play coy with me. You fucking know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to her podcast.
Yeah, Thumper's gonna be jerking off to her voice, like, "Oh yeah, baby, come on, sugar tits."
Yeah.
And it's like super clear, and like that accent is just like an Aussie cussing, dude. Her cursing is just on another level.
Oh yeah,
especially a woman like that.
I'm gonna message her and just be like, send me just a sound clip of you cussing at me so I can jerk off to it.
You see, I think we're on the cusp of a new genre here: ASMR gooning. Right?
What is ASMR? I don't know what the hell that is.
It's
like an audio stimulation, something. It's basically quiet, soothing sounds.
Yeah, it's like happy little noises and stuff that calm your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it works. But...
It's a fish.
Oh, this fucking guy. Love this fucking guy.
Fucking right there, custom like a sailor. Swearing is actually a sign of more intelligence, not less, says scientists. So this
smart as fuck.
I hope that.
Yeah, right. Like fuck yeah, dude. But he goes through this one. This one's pretty good. This will be the last one.
There it is, ye fuckers. Swearing is actually a sign of intelligence. This is being said by scientists who are, of course, smart cunts. So you can stop fucking whinging about me cursing too much. Go off and do a little crossword or a Sudoku puzzle and come back when your intellect is ready for me. And guess what else? It's good for your health. Increases your pain tolerance. Do you not want to live longer? Okay, we're going to do a guided meditation. Some Irish yoga, if you will. So a deep breath in on the word yeah. Yeah, cunt. Beautiful. I used AI to check if this was true, and it's still recommending a balanced diet and regular exercise. When are they going to update this horseshit? This is definitely true, but to be fair, some of these Facebook articles are bullshit. Do you like to rot in bed and binge eat cereal and bread? New study finds you might be a genius.
That was hilarious.
Oh boy,
he's a good dude. He does a lot of fucking short clips in there.
Yeah, I love it. I got a buddy on Facebook that I've known for many, many years. He's like every week or two, he gives me something from that guy to look at, and yeah, he's proper funny.
No wonder why all of us are so healthy after fucking drinking so much alcohol all these years. It's because we're always cussing.
No shit.
We might be able to prove it. True. Do a study. I know.
Mick, that's why I'm not getting fatter after all the food too.
Well, you know what you were cooking. Don't you? I'm just kind of taking.
I know.
A little bit. I didn't know you were on the OMAD thing, the whole one meal a day thing. You might have mentioned it before, but I kind of missed it.
Oh, I've been eating that for fucking like years, man.
Okay, all right.
Even when I was even when I could work out, even when I could work out.
Yeah.
You know, when I went to the gym, it was pretty much one meal a day. That was it.
Okay. Well, you know, a lot of people do that and they get really good results. I was just more interested in those freaking ostrich and cheese tacos, man. Those things looked amazing.
Yeah.
But that was just a test, right? That was just the test to see from start to finish, right?
How'd it go?
Now when I dipped it in the barbecue sauce, right? The backside of the tortillas. Yeah, those got a little, I had to wash those a little. One got a little dark on. You know.
Yeah, right.
The sugar tastes good. The other one, I just scraped out the meat and did another one. That's what I did. But the quesadilla, I loaded that. I just had enough left. I said, okay, I got a lot. Fill this fucker up. So I put one whole bag of cheese, all that fucking quesadilla, and loaded up with fucking half a pound of steak.
Yeah. How did that taste?
Yeah.
That was great. You know.
Well, how could it not be great?
How big was the quesadilla?
Yeah, but I know now that from start to finish, you can bake smoked tacos on the grill with the tortillas. You know, now I just get the coleslaw just right. You know, whether if I want a vinegar based or put that in there too. You know, but I like it just meat and cheese. To be honest with you, you know.
Yeah, that's what I tend to prefer, honestly. I mean, a little veggie here and there is okay, but yeah, if you got a solid core of a well done meat and well cooked tortilla or taco shell, and you got a good quality cheese in there with the right seasonings and spices, I mean,
Yep.
the veggies ain't
Well,
even necessary.
well, see, the ostrich meat, what I did was I seasoned it with Dano's taco seasoning first.
No, all right. So you had your freaking, so you used the taco seasoning as a rub.
Yeah. And then I just, once I cooked them to 130 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Because like ostrich and emu, if you take that bitch to 135 to 140 range, right? And then you make a taco like that out of it, whether it be on the flat top or skillet or even an oven, it's going to overcook it.
It's dry, huh? Because there's no fat in it, right?
Yeah. So you cook that bitch a little on the rare side a little bit, and then it comes out perfectly. Tender, everything.
Sounds beautiful.
And stuff. So I had to do that test, but I was like, fuck it. I had 3 ostrich steaks left. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. You know,
that's one of those things I got to get into one of these days, man. You know, for all the exotic meats I've eaten, I think we've been over this before. I've never had ostrich, and I hear it's like a sandhill crane, you know, like ribeye in the sky. It's just like beef. I've just never freaking had it.
Well, a lot of people, it's hard to get too. They don't know where to get it at. I mean, now there's numerous places that sell it now, but the shit ain't cheap. Like Amarillo Hills is the cheapest.
Oh no, no, it's expensive. I know that. Yeah.
Now there's a place out there in Utah that sells it. They're a little more expensive than fucking Amarillo Hills is in Tennessee and North Carolina. So the only time I use that place in Utah is when Amarillo Hills is out of the States. That's the only time I'll use them. You know.
I might have to check back home because I know they've started up quite a few ostrich farms.
Yeah.
Shit, when I was teenager and stuff, and I know they were still going.
Well, and a lot of places that do, because there used to be some here like not too far from the house here, you know, like 30 minutes away.
Right.
Well, they don't do it no more because not a lot of people wanted to buy them, too. And a lot of people didn't fucking butcher for meat either back then, too. You know.
Question is, what do the eggs taste like?
Well, if Rocky's fucking barber there in North Carolina knows, he said he knew somebody that had emu eggs. Yeah. So he said he might be able to get us some.
Yeah, so, I know. I hope.
But emu and ostrich eggs, I mean, emu's a little smaller than ostrich, right?
A little bit,
so
yeah.
That's like doing a whole fucking carton or fucking 18-pack of eggs. One of those eggs are. Ostrich is more like an 18-pack.
Actually, ostrich, I looked it up after we talked about it. Ostrich is 20, like equal to 24 eggs. Emus are to 12.
24 eggs?
Yeah.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah. Emus are a little bit smaller. So one egg is like the equivalent of 12. And then an ostrich is like the equivalent of 24. I knew it was a lot. I couldn't remember exactly. But yeah, it's 24 for an ostrich.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Unless you got you a big family, there ain't no point.
Unless you like your protein and you can eat that much. It's a lot, but
well, I mean, if you're meal prepping for the day, yeah, I can see that happening.
I mean, on average, I eat 4 eggs in the morning. You know, like that's like the first thing I do is I eat 4 eggs, I fry them up, and then I drink a shake that has 30 grams of protein in it. So I literally, at a minimum, I have 30 grams of protein, but I do these like Orgain 30-gram protein shakes. I don't know if you can even see it there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay.
It's like a chocolate milk, but it's so it's got dairy-based protein, cocoa powder, monk fruit extract, has no artificial sweeteners or flavors, no sucralose. It's gluten-free, kosher. There's no soy in it, and it only has 1 gram of sugar. And it's good. So I have this and eggs in the morning. So I've been hitting probably 36 to almost 40 grams of protein in the morning. So I could probably kick back a whole fucking ostrich egg if I wanted to try.
What was that 30-30-30 thing you talked about the other day?
Yeah. So within 30 minutes of waking up, you take 30 slow, deep breaths in and out, and then eat 30 grams of protein. So it's within 30 minutes of waking up, that's what you do. And so when I wake up, the first thing I do is I do my breathing, and then I come out here and I make my amino acids and lately the ivermectin. So yeah, we can talk about that real quick.
Don't put peanut butter in with it.
Yeah, peanut butter with it. So this is the stuff I'm taking, and it's got 2 different medications in it, and it is horrible tasting. The first time I did just the paste, and it made my mouth and throat numb. So then we were all talking about it, and we were all kind of coming to the consensus, yeah, try it with peanut butter. It might help, right? Fuck no. The peanut butter actually kept it in my mouth longer. I couldn't swallow it as fast, and it coated my mouth more. So when I went to drink water to get rid of it, it wouldn't even fucking do that because of the peanut butter and the oil.
Should put some maple syrup in with it.
Fuck no. So what I've been doing is in the morning, I take my aminos, my precision aminos, which are raw, and I put it in that, and I mix it up. I shake it. So I've been kind of combining all my stuff that I do in the morning. So I'll make this. I'll sprinkle in a sprinkle of my Baja Gold salt, and then I'll put a 250-pound dose of this medication into it, because it's got, so if you look, it's got the dosages are right here, 250 pounds for each one. So I'm at 750 right now. So I've done a couple of these, and it's a little bit better when I put it in with my amino acids. It still makes my mouth numb, and I can still taste it, and it makes my amino acids taste like shit, but I can slam it way faster.
Maybe you should do it as a suppository instead.
So basically, right now you're like a dog who needs his medication to be put into a piece of cheese before he'll eat it, right?
Right? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much got to do that.
Okay.
I told Thumper, I said,
in the room. Since you started taking this stuff,
yeah,
what has come out of your butthole? What have you noticed in the bowl? Because that's what everybody really wants to know, right? You take the anti-parasitical shit. What have you seen come out that you look at and go, holy shit, Lovecraft could not have thought of this?
So, honestly, I haven't noticed anything, but I will say that the bowel movements are different.
Okay, define different. Inquiring minds have got to know.
Well, I mean, I've actually went solid for the first time in years.
Dude, that's actually not easy to achieve at our age. So, congrats for that.
Considering ever since fucking right before Iraq, I think, or right during Iraq, it switched over. So, yeah. I mean, I don't feel like a huge major difference, but I mean, I'm sure there's some microscopic shit it's killing in my body, which is good, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
I'm not poking fun at any of that. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
And I'm only on like the 3rd or 4th dose, you know, so I mean, I'm trying to keep it at the same time every morning, so that way it's in my system long enough.
But if one morning Cthulhu comes out of your ass, you will tell us, right?
I will take pictures for you.
That's what I want to hear.
I've already told Thumper he's gonna start being like a horse.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm like, I hate myself in the morning because of the fucking taste and the way it fucking ugh. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it for a good reason. Hopefully it actually makes a difference. Fuck it, I'll put up with it for a couple more times, but this one is the type of medication. It's 2 different types of dewormers, so each medication attacks different parasites. So I'm actually hitting a broader spectrum of parasites versus just one group of parasites. So
now you see, when you get a bunch of sailors talking together about current events and shit like that, at the end of the day, it ultimately devolves down to a conversation about Thumper's butthole.
Yep.
It's a law of nature, apparently.
It starts with that, and then it also ends with that, but there might be something in between. We don't know.
And I ain't even mad, man. This shit's breathtaking. I love it.
Yeah, you should have seen that text, Mick. All right, there is a peanut butter digging asshole.
It was bad, dude. Oh, God. You've all had something, whether it's tequila or something that sends that chill down your fucking spine. And it makes it makes you have that real quick questionable thought in your brain, like, why the fuck did I just do that? But here's the thing. Mine wasn't quick, and it lasted a long time because that taste in the coating was still in my mouth. So it didn't just happen and go away. It was just a constant assault on my nervous system and stomach. And I wanted to fucking throw up, but I'm like, I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm going to hold this in. I'm going to fucking drink as much water as I can and swish it around in my mouth and get rid of that shit. And I did, but it was fucking brutal. It's way better doing my amino acids and putting it in that and shaking it up and mixing it.
See, I take my amino acids in pill form after I work out within 15, 20 minutes. I've got the Animal Nitro that has all the essential aminos.
Yep.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, see, I do the powder. So
powder, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any wrong way to do it as long as the timing's right.
Yep. And if you do it first thing in the morning when you wake up and then you eat your 30 grams, that helps convert everything over too and helps give you that energy for the morning and day.
Yeah, like instant absorption. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. No food to compete with it. Yeah.
Did you see what I posted on Smitty's fucking Facebook about him whining about fucking Jim? Quit being a little bitch.
Just do it. Well, he's doing real well.
Yeah, but he ain't ever gonna be able to, at his age, he just needs to get in shape. Don't worry about the weight he used to do.
Well, we never do let that go, do we, man? I mean, right now I'm back in the gym myself and struggling with the same thing. I'm looking at that 225, and at my strongest, I could only rep 225 for 8 reps. I mean, that was the best I ever got. I'm not built like a caveman like he is, right? I've never even cracked 300 in the best shape I've ever been. I never cracked 300. So automatically, I'm already like, you know what? Fuck you, Smitty. You used to rep 350. Screw you. But even I'm 46 and he's older than me even, and I'm still kind of like, you know what? I can't do the weight that I used to, but I am not letting that shit go. I'm working my way back up, and I'm not going to do it unhealthily. I'm keeping my calories up, my protein up, my supplements, my workout schedule. I'm doing all those things. And I'm trying to work my way up in a way that's, safe for the joints and doesn't risk injury. But God damn it, I am still chasing those old numbers. So it's not that uncommon.
Just low weight, high reps is all you need at our age, brother. Even
it doesn't hit the same though,
it does not hit the same, but eventually you'll get the gains faster that you want, right? When I started lifting weights again, when I got out, I didn't lift weights until River was born, right? Because I needed that stress relief,
Yeah, right.
And so I just started doing my own workout again, high reps, low weight. Dude, I was fucking stronger than the guys that's doing the pyramids, the heavyweight shit. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, dude, all you got to do is eventually you'll be able to get back up like on dumbbell bench press, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was back doing the 100-pounders again, doing 2 sets of 20 with them.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, though. you're stockily built and not the tallest, which means you've got that mechanical advantage. You know, you can. Really
but it's all about the triceps too. You know, get the triceps worked. You know, all that. You know.
Yeah. But right now, I don't do flat bench anymore because my shoulders are good, but when it comes to flat bench, it fucks with them, and so I just don't do that no more. Yep. I do the dumbbells like you were saying, and right now I'm up to 70s, and at my prime I was doing 90s. Yep. So I'm 20 pounds off of my prime on the dumbbell bench, and I think I can get back there.
But you at least want to be, you know, your goal should be, you know, be able to do them 2 sets of 20. If you can do them 2 sets of 20, that'll make those young bucks, they'll put them in shape in the gym, guaranteed. You know, especially when you just lift them up and rip them out, you know, this stuff. But I don't look like that no more because I lost when I got sick, lost that 50 pounds. I lost a lot of muscle.
Well, build it back up, bitch.
I can't work out no more in the gym because fucking vertigo and now my asthma.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The asthma ain't so bad, right? It's that fucking vertigo. I got a Bowflex here at the house, but every time I fucking start getting back into it again, dude, it kicks it off bad. I'm like, fuck this, you know.
Well, it's a good thing you're handsome.
I don't know about that though, but
all right, fuck you. You have no hope. How about that?
But some girls do like the bald head now, but I just keep shaving it. So
they call you cue ball.
That right, Jer?
Yeah, it pisses my brother off, right? Because I shave my head, you know, not bald at all, not going bald. He is bald. He's like, I'm gonna shave my head. You got hair, motherfucker.
People like you piss me off because I'm actually legitimately bald. You know,
that's the way my brother is. You know.
You know what? We can't be friends anymore. Get me off of this fucking podcast. And the rest of you hair-having bastards.
I just fucking quit getting my hair cut because I never knew when my vertigos will get set off right. And the last time it got set off at a barbershop, that was like driving home drunk. I was I was like, fuck this. I said, I'm going to shave my head. So I got me a good skull shaver, right? Dude, mine has the 7 blades on it, the 7 things on it. Fuck. Fucking less than 2 minutes, I'm done with it.
Yep. Bloody fucking hell.
Hey, Mick, I got something for you.
Oh, do show.
Okay. When did Boeing build this?
That is a fine question. I've actually seen that at the museum. It
says 2019, but I don't have to take longer than that to build it.
X-Wing? Oh, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know when they built that. Certainly wasn't privy to it myself in 2019. Yeah, that's that. Actually, 2019 is when I started on the 777X program. So I was out on the flight line when that thing was built. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
I had to ask you. So I said, damn, we know somebody that fucking might know. So I was like, fuck, I
wonder if it actually worked.
No idea.
I don't know. I'd like to know that.
Like if that's just a replica, like from Star Wars, or you know, did they actually try to make one?
I don't know.
You know, but the physics in Star Wars is completely different from our physics on Earth. So
I want to know if it does work. If they did get
from reading that, that's designed for autonomous flight and stuff. It looks like they designed it to work. I mean, it's to resemble an X-wing. So if you read that.
In this day and age, you could make it work just because, physically speaking, all you need is enough thrust and enough surface area on the wings to keep the thing aloft. Balance and aerodynamics really don't matter because you have computer-controlled fly-by-wire. They can make hundreds of little adjustments per second. So if you've got enough collective thrust, which 4 engines that size would definitely give you, in the amount of surface area on the wings we're seeing and the under fuselage of it, they could definitely make a legit flying X-wing fighter. Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
And make it look just like the Star Wars version. Probably wouldn't handle for shit, probably wouldn't have anything useful going for it, but would it fly? Well, yeah, as long as they had not online, but computer controlled fly-by-wire and what do they call that? Relaxed stability. Yeah, they could do that.
What were the ones that Darth Vader rode in, man? I forget what they were called.
TIE fighters.
TIE fighter.
Dude, they had the fucking coolest sounding jet engines. Or whatever. The sound for them. I thought that was cool sound.
And no life support either.
Well, interestingly enough, the word TIE comes from the propulsion system. The TIE stands for twin ion engine. So they actually have ion engines now, and they're used to propel satellites. It's a very, very slow, very, very gradual amount of thrust, but in the darkness and vacuum of space, it's enough to get them moving. Not nearly like a TIE fighter in the movies, but yeah, they do exist. So what you're hearing is actually an ion engine, which you wouldn't hear in the vacuum of space, but Hollywood.
Got to make it good. That's why they said they can't do hyperspeed. They can't go through the hyperspace. They got to stay next to a station or on a craft, like a Star Destroyer.
What speed is hyperspace?
It doesn't have one.
Yeah,
it doesn't have.
It's not the speed of light.
It's faster than the speed of light.
No, it's many times faster than the speed of light. See, hyperspace is actually sort of a separate dimension sort of thing. It's a different plane of physics to where the same rules don't exactly apply. That was sort of George Lucas's workaround for that. Because in Star Trek, you have warp. But even at warp 9, it would take you 20, 30, 40 years to get, to a different quadrant of the galaxy. Whereas in Star Wars, when the Millennium Falcon escaped, they said they could be halfway across the galaxy by now. And that was like 2 hours later. So the speeds in Star Wars are way faster than the speeds in Star Trek.
Now you got to bring in Battlestar Galactica.
I'm not as well versed.
Like the FTL drives in the reimagined series. I never really saw the original. I remember watching as a kid, but I don't remember much.
But wouldn't you think in all these sci-fi shows, if you had the speeds, right, to go significant fractions of the breadth of a galaxy in hours or days or weeks, right? Wouldn't you think that everyone would have enough room to just kind of fuck off and leave each other alone?
Yeah.
Like 200,000-300,000 of you board a couple of dozen space cruisers. You find a really good planet that has just the right conditions. And you're like, you know what? It's an obscure planet in the middle of nowhere. No one could possibly want anything here. Let's just settle down and be a civilization.
No, because I think aliens are like assholes like us. You just got to fuck with something. Can't leave it alone.
Just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Like, let's just go down and fuck with them.
I think that will
The
happen.
destroyer of plot lines.
If space is real and all that shit's real, like what they say NASA says and all that other shit, right?
Yep.
It's going to be guys that invented sex robots. And they're going to leave Earth and never come back.
And we all just sort of die out like cockroaches.
Right.
And those guys go live happy lives, but the guys stuck on Earth got to deal with whatever civilization became at that time, because it's probably going to crumble soon.
They're going to just bring birthing people with them in cryostasis, only just to procreate with, and then go back to the sex robots.
They're going to get DNA, strands of DNA, and all that stuff.
That's
right.
Dark.
CRISPR stuff, whatever.
So basically, Tom Jones and Rod Stewart and all those singers would be completely freaking out of business.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I found the real reason why Beyonce thinks she's a country singer now.
Oh, this!
Oh my god!
Are you
Is
serious?
this going to be spicy?
Billy gave her some weed.
Yeah, that's about right.
Because even fucking Snoop Dogg couldn't keep up with fucking Willie.
Hell no.
And the thing is, the proof that she's delusional is that Darius Rucker, aka Hootie, he came out with a country album some years ago, and everyone was like, "Oh hell yeah, he's doing a great job at this." And he went to like number one, right?
Yep.
So,
but he's a better singer though too.
Isn't a component. The dude could sing. The dude could write songs. Yeah. He could do all the things, and he just kind of switched genres and was like, talent is talent, man, no matter where it goes. Beyonce was never talented, and her switch to country, it shows that.
Yep, and now she's had to cancel the rest of her shows because no one's showing up now.
Oh, thank God. Maybe people are finally starting to get some taste.
You're talking about the guy from Hootie and the Blowfish, right?
Yeah.
And like Aaron Lewis, I just heard a song tonight. Aaron Lewis, the lead singer of Stained, he went from freaking heavy metal to country. Awesome. He did it pretty well.
Yeah, he's got that country bar.
Dude, I've seen him in concert.
I went to the Family Values tour where Stain was introduced by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
that's old school, man.
Dude, like we were there, and there was the concert where like they sat down and everything, and someone got a video of it and put it on the internet.
I've got video of Aaron Lewis during his acoustic tour. Dude, it was amazing. Like, it was a couple years ago, and he sings the song "Am I the Only One?" I don't know if you guys have heard that. Highly recommended. Highly recommended if you haven't listened to it. But yeah, that whole theater just fucking blew up because it wasn't a huge venue. It wasn't a stadium. It was a theater. And he was on stage, and it was super intimate, basically. I mean, there was still a couple thousand people there, but not that many, you know what I mean, compared to stadiums. And so he played all of his new stuff, but then he also played some stuff from Stained, and it was fucking amazing.
See, I think that's the videos he likes because he does them in Missouri, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, down around fucking down Ozarks. And then there's another one in Jeff City that he plays that regularly too, every now and then, like at least once a year.
Yep. Yeah, he's come back here a couple times to do the smaller venues because they're just better, you know. It's just they're more intimate. You get more interaction with your you know viewers and all that. It's nice.
Yeah.
And Phil Labonte from All That Remains said that shit. That's how they got started. All they wanted to do was play small bars, small venues, like. You're up, you know, everybody's up against the stage, and you know that has worked for them for years, and many bands have done that.
Dude, about a month ago, I went to a really small place in Seattle, and I've seen a bunch of concerts this year. Like I've been really hitting it hard. Most of it it's the same place. A place called El Corazon, little hole in the wall. You can see the band from the bar when you go get a drink, that sort of place. And I saw Power Man 5000. Remember them?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so close and it was so good.
Oh, Pirate. That one song, mate. What's that one song?
When Worlds Collide?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's happening every day now. Think about that song. That's happening.
Those little shows, man, they're the best. Especially when you see someone who used to be huge. Love it.
I remember one time I went to Orange County Fair and Styx was playing.
You got to see Styx?
Dude, no, I didn't get to see him. I had no idea because I was having a bad time in the Navy or something like that, right? It was just like a rough time being a chief or whatever. And
okay, yeah, right.
So my wife's like, let's go out because you got time off. Let's go out. So we went to the Orange County Fair and with all the kids, and we had fun. Just walked around, and when we walked in there, they were starting the song of Renegade.
I love that one.
Dude. And I just like, I said, hey, wait. Check this out. This is on the show Supernatural too. One of the early episodes, they always play classic rock on that fucking show. That's why I liked it so much. And they played that, and I was like, that's really fucking Styx right there. I'm like, damn it. If I would have known, dude, see a fucking classic rock band, dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife showed me a video today or this morning, sometime this morning, and she said Metallica was in Charlotte last night. Someone was recording them playing Enter Sandman.
Us.
Yeah, they sounded fucking.
Have you seen Metallica live?
Yeah, I saw them at what's that fucking concert? Lollapalooza in 1995.
Dude.
With Rancid, Soundgarden.
We saw the same show.
At Blockbuster, it was Blockbuster Pavilion in Glen Helen.
Dude.
So it's like San Bernardino, right? So it's off the 15, I think. I-15.
Yeah.
And then you get off right there, and then you can either go to Redlands or you can go back up the hill to Victorville, where I lived. So,
dude, I saw him Lollapalooza '96. It was New York State Fair. The summer before I went into the Navy, while I was waiting to go to boot camp. And it was Metallica, Soundgarden, Rancid, the Ramones, Screaming Trees. Dude, we saw the same fucking tour.
Yeah. And then they had the Shaolin monks too.
Yeah, they did. And was Wu-Tang Clan there for yours?
I don't remember, man. They might have been. They had some weird, like, fucking shit that, like, people are trying to normalize nowadays again. I saw that shit back then in California there. So it's nothing new, but all the crazy crap that's going on with bathrooms and everything, that shit was there too.
Yeah, see, this was in upstate New York, so we were still pretty redneck.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe our first time seeing Metallica was the same fucking tour. That is too cool.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite album.
How old are you, Rob?
I'm 47.
I'm 46. Okay, so yeah, same age more or less.
So I joined when I went in the Navy. I was 19.
I was 17. What year did you graduate high school?
96.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Well, ain't that something?
Small world.
Sorry, I'm trying to contain my excitement here. I think this whole thing is just freaking fascinating.
It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Right?
Yeah. Talking to old shitmates. Telling them what shipwrecks they are in life, or just giving them shit for proper shit giving. Who knows? Anyways.
I'll tell you, remember how we was talking about doing gyros, right? On the drum?
Yeah.
Heroes,
gyros, same fucking thing.
Gyroscope. Fucking tacos, man. Gyros are nothing more than Greek tacos.
I found something that'll work on the drums to do it, but it's not going to be vertical, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking like. That's what I was saying. Like, you need something to like rotate it horizontally.
Yeah, but the way I did it works too. But I see now it's like, oh, I'm getting that since they're doing it in the PBX. I said, I know it'll fit in that motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. I mean, it definitely will. They're making that Alabama sauce.
Yep.
I do got something that I wanted to share because it was going like when we were talking about celebrities and shit. And you see all this stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this lady. She makes a very good point that I wish that this would get out more because people can't leave it the fuck alone.
Do you know what worries me about society? Is the amount of people that worship these absolute clowns. Every single one of them are good for nothing. The only thing you should be worshipping is a higher power. Not these freaks. Seriously, what's wrong with you at all?
But that needs to go out. Like, you know, when we were talking about Beyonce and them shifting around, Taylor Swift.
That was Sugar Tits, wasn't it?
No, yeah, the Sugar Tits was coming back up.
Yep.
That's the beginning of her intro.
So that's what she looks like.
No, that's her bear, dude. You can't see her.
Oh, because the other girl.
The other girl's Chloe. She's an Irish girl.
Oh,
yeah.
She does a lot of gardening videos, and you know, like religious, you know, kind of throws it in there. But she's got a lot of tips and tricks for growing gardens, so she's good to watch.
What, for like growing like potatoes and lettuce and all that?
Everything, dude. Tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, all kinds of shit, man.
Okay.
Not just potatoes. Irish can fucking grow more than potatoes.
Some taters.
Fucking taters.
Yeah, like some taters. Grow some taters.
Hey, man, everybody pretty much loves potatoes.
Yeah, dude. You're making me think of our fucking birria potato, man. Potato.
I got something for you in a minute too, Rocky.
Oh, then the chicken. And
now
this one with
chicken.
Now, Lil Tate, when you went to Amsterdam, did you ever see this? Biggest fries.
No, I didn't see any of that.
I've never been there before.
Why?
I would do it. Fuck yeah.
Now we said, let me see if I can find it, dude. We did find this though.
Fries? Oh, some French fries.
Dude, that's a big old fucking dang French fries. Like,
yeah, no, they have like some.
That's a lot of fries, man. That's a lot of fries.
Check this out. You'll like this one.
All right.
Hold on. Let me pull it back so I can get to the. We did find this though at the Irish bar.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a lot of Jameson, but when we seen that, we're like, we got to get a picture of that motherfucker.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They mean a business.
And then we spent most of the time in the red light district.
Now, when y'all fucking left that port, did y'all get pissed at them?
What you need to do is you got to say, well, kids, and you need to talk like Chef from South Park. Well, children, this is what red light district means. You're explaining to kids in South Park.
Well, children, this is what the red light district means.
Yeah, no, we all got piss tested. Yeah.
I figured you would coming from that fucking place.
I actually started to freak out a little bit because we stopped at like a shawarma shop, and they were using Thai basil. But when I woke up in the morning, it tasted like I had been smoking fucking weed.
Oh shit!
Because I remember, that from being a kid, and I was like freaking out, man. Like, did that guy lace our fucking food? Like, because pot's so prevalent over there that they put it in fucking everything. So you never knew. I was careful about eating because of that reason.
And that's what's sad. The fucking Navy pissed at you after that port. I'm like, then why go there if you're gonna piss us people? That shit could be in food, everything around there.
Well, that's what got us in trouble too, because we had to wait so long to get the food that we missed the fucking bus and had to take an Uber. At which point we were in like an industrial shipyard over there, so we didn't know they didn't have the port, like where it was berthed at. So I had to wait for a pin to come in from Sonia. She sent me a pin drop, and then the Uber driver knew exactly where it was. But that made us like 20 minutes late. You know what I mean? And then you got to send out the fucking muster call that everybody's there, the Admiral, everybody's accounted for. And it was 2 fucking chiefs not accounted for fucking because we were 20 minutes late and we had to go through this.
Shit, you're lucky, man. I used to get piss tested on the regular just based on the guys I hung out with.
That happened to me at ACU 4 too. When I was hanging out with Chad,
dude.
Huh?
Who did you hang out with, Mick?
Remember Stoddard?
Yep.
I think so.
Stoddard and Self.
Yep.
Oh, fucking FC3. Didn't he get kicked out for drugs?
Yep.
Oh.
Stoddard. What rate was Stoddard?
No, he was an IC2 when he got thrown out.
IC2. I'm gonna see if I can find him on.
Fuck, he was in our birthday, Rocky. Fuck.
Fucking, I remember the name, but I can't put a face to the name.
Yeah, those fucking random piss tests started being a lot less random in my case.
Yeah. When I was at AC4, it's very similar to that. Like fucking once or twice a week for like 3 months solid. And it's like, how am I random on here? Like, no, I don't think so. You're picking my shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, they could never fucking nail me because I was never that fucking stupid. I don't know what they were thinking.
Exactly.
You take enough nights and enough time, you'll piss that shit right the fuck out.
Well, and if you're not fat either.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're
that was
lean,
all of 170 pounds.
Yeah. No, THC stores in your fat cells. So
yeah, 6 foot 170.
I know the first time I had to take fucking niacin. Oh my God, I took 1,000 milligrams of that shit. Boy, I was fucking red as the damn tomato was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on that shit all the time.
It's a great fat burner.
Yep.
He was always fucking red and prickly.
Hey, Rocky.
Yo.
Have y'all thought about selling your Bria's tacos, right? Your Bria tacos, they're like a grocery store?
Yeah.
Here. This one's for you, brother. I mean, it's not yours, but
God, I hope not.
Costco's doing that shit now.
Yeah.
Is it Birria?
That's Birria. Yeah. It doesn't look like your consomme, you know, but I know it's not yours.
No,
but have y'all ever thought about trying to do that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, don't you have to dip the tortilla in the consomme before you cook them so it all kind of cooks in together?
No, I dip it in the oil.
When
we cook the beef with all the chili and all that stuff, the chili becomes oil, and it makes this great tasting that hardens the taco, the tortilla, but it also leaves it soft. So it's like eating it's like eating a hard soft taco, and it really blends well with the taste of the meat and the cheese and the vegetables and everything. Whether it's chicken, ground beef, or the birria beef, all of it just tastes great. I forgot to say chicken the right way. This is the way you say chicken.
Chicken.
And if you love chicken a lot, you say chickeny chicken. All right. Anyways. Yeah.
And Mickey, you can do the same thing if you use the flour tortillas too at home. Let's say if you made some barbecue chicken, you know, that's it, like in the oven. You can take that tortilla and dip it in that shit, right? Just thin out and put it right on the flat top. Works great. I've done that.
All right. I remember Stoddard now. I got a picture of him in the book.
Oh, I got stories about that guy, let me tell you. And basically,
he got kicked out?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Dude, a lot of people from the fight got kicked out for drugs, man. A lot of people did.
I know, dude. I remember, dude, towards my time ending there, a lot of people were getting kicked out for doing drugs. Smoking weed, or they would do cocaine. I'm like, God dang, man. I was like, well, I understood why they were getting out, because they were on the USS Fife with me. That place had some fucked up shit. And they had a department head senior chief. He was the LCPO for engineering. He's like, why are all these people doing drugs and getting kicked out? I said, it's probably because people like you treat us like shit. And we want to make our lives better, but you guys make our lives fucking shit. We can't escape from what we were trying to escape and to become better because you guys are shit. he looked at me and he was fucking shocked.
Well,
I said, that's fucking true. I mean, and this was around 2001. 2001.
I got two names. I got two names I can add to that list. Okay. You had Chief Murray, the guy who showed up, who was there when I showed up. That dude was great. You had Chief Williams. That dude was great. Chef Check, great. Tebow, great. There's a lot of fucking truly great, admirable chiefs. But for every couple of those, there was one shithead who just seemed to be hell-bent on making your life worse. And the two names that come to mind are, remember ETC Goddard?
Yep.
For absolutely no fucking reason I could think of. That dude made my life a living hell every chance he got. And I didn't even work for the guy. But for whatever fucking reason, he had it out for me. And every time I was around him, it was nothing but 24/7 stress. So I get what Rocky's talking about. You got people that aren't even in your chain of command that have it out for you for some fucking stupid reason that nobody seems to be willing to articulate. If he would have taken me to a fan room,
he had it out
and
for
said, "Look, motherfucker," I would have at least gotten it, But he wasn't even direct enough to do that. He was just a piece of shit 24/7 around me, with no explanation, no reason why, no constructive criticism. Even if he'd have been a cunt about it, I would have at least gotten some input. But he just decided to hide behind his stern face and be a piece of shit. And back to what Rocky was saying. Yeah, that's why people fucking drink and do drugs and shit like that. Sorry, little rant there, but kind of pissed me off. And it goes to exactly what Rocky was talking about.
Well, it was that shitty leadership. And, this guy had it out for everyone in the engineering department that wasn't in the EE division.
One of them guys.
So he made everybody's life hell, especially like when you'd pull in port, he'd make everyone else from other departments come and pull up the electrical lines to plug the ship in, because it was all the way on the No, it wasn't on the it was on the superstructure. I forget what deck, dude. I went up there like
03 level
a couple of times. Man, that shit was a pain. Never did that stuff until he came.
Now they have fucking cranes with rollers on them, dude.
Yep.
Lay it right up there, super easy, fucking quick, and the electricians pretty much plug it in themselves. The only time anybody does an all hands is if the crane isn't there and we all want to fucking go home.
Right. Yeah.
Well, after the 2000 cruise, when it got pulled back in the port, we had the drug dogs coming off because someone had a tip that someone smuggling drugs back from the Middle East.
Oh, yeah, we couldn't fucking leave. Like, all of customs and shit was on there.
Yeah. And we've never had a drug dogs come on board before. We're like, the fuck? They was trying to get somebody is what they was trying to do.
Well, remember when we were in Seattle shipyard? That's where they had that big bus go down, too, that everybody was getting into Seattle and doing all the ecstasy and shit.
Yep.
They got tipped off.
Because somehow I would see, I was interested in becoming an MA at that time. And this was before September 11th. A lot of that crap going on. And so they would show me who popped on piss tests and what they would pop for. Or like I would see just like a list, right? And the names are blacked out, so you couldn't tell who it was. But it would be like marijuana, THC, cocaine, MDMA or ecstasy or something like that. I forgot what the code was.
They're the same, yeah. MDMA and ecstasy are the same thing.
And you would see that, and I'd be like, man, some people are taking that shit because they're so depressed and they want to feel happy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know what ecstasy was and MDMA was and who invented it, you'd be fucking surprised about what they were actually trying to do with that shit.
Oh yeah, MK Ultra.
Yeah, no, it was Super Soldier, the Nazi Super Soldier program. They were trying to use that.
Continue that work though.
Huh?
Didn't MK Ultra kind of continue that work though?
MK Ultra was more like mind control.
That was bigger on LSD.
Like you're Professor X, right? And
LSD, right.
You're gonna do you're gonna control Eric Lyncher, Magneto, because he's not wearing that fucking helmet or whatever, right. And everyone will turn guns on you and all that stuff. So I think that's what they were trying to do, and they were trying to. It seems what they were trying to do is they were trying to create hidden assets. And when people would hear a certain sound or frequency or a certain series of words, it would activate this personality like that they built in this person because it's a split personality, almost like Moon Knight from Marvel Comics, and get them to do a job and completely wipe the personality out of the person after that. So they would
disassociate entirely.
Yes.
Yeah, they explained it in Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson.
Yes.
They go through all of that with they called it gravy, which was LSD. But going back to the Nazis, they also invented methamphetamine. It's part of their super soldier program too.
Yep.
And something with steroids too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were trying to make what we see in Marvel Comics as Captain America and Red Skull, and then the fucking Bucky Barnes. What was he called? Captain America and fucking.
Well, Bucky was the sidekick.
Bucky was the sidekick, but Barnes became the something. So the
Winter. He was assassin, but he was Captain America's fucking rival after he got put in. Yeah, shot up with all that same shit.
Yeah, because in the movies he gets captured by Hydra and they cut his arm off, put a metal arm on him or something like that, right? But they were still developing super soldier serums because that's what Weapon X was about. Also, like when they made Wolverine into Wolverine, it was because they could not replicate what they did with fucking Captain America.
Yeah, see, Bucky was his buddy going into the war.
Other stuff, huh?
Bucky was his buddy growing up.
Yeah, it was his best friend growing up, man. The first movie was great. And so there's a hint of reality in that stuff because there's a book that I have and it's called something Darkness, right? And it's about it's like the Black Awakening or something like that. And it's by a guy that died in 2021 and they think that he was murdered with COVID.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that recorded all these demons. He would go to places where people were demon possessed and all that stuff, and they would have to sit through all these demons. And they were realizing some of these things were demons, and some of these were split personalities inside a person that were assigned to do a job. And when the job was done, it completely dissociate that personality. But you could always reactivate it with a certain series of words, like what you see in Civil War, in the beginning of Civil War. So
we're talking about like the fellow that killed Lenin.
Yeah.
Sirhan, was it Sirhan?
Yeah, like he said something and then he shot him, 4 times or 8 times in the back? I can't remember. 1980. And he's been dead for 45 years now, I think.
Well, John Lennon, supposedly he's still alive. There's that out there too.
You know what? That might be out there because of a TV show called Fringe.
Hey, I mean, he could be. You never know. He could have faked his death too.
Where they're like in Fringe, it ends up being like 2 parallel universes, right? So there's parallel Earths or parallel timelines going on.
But he could have fucking faked his own death too. Be done with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember the movie Death Becomes Her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Faked his death, and all these other people faked their death. Then they had a commercial a while ago, and I think it was beer or travel thing, and it had like Tupac, Elvis Presley, Jim Morrison, and Marilyn Monroe, and they were all looking like they were youthful, and they were all on this island somewhere, and a ship came by a little too close and saw them, and so they had to cover it up and make it look like jungle on the deserted island, so they wouldn't get caught. So, I mean, there's a lot of shit like that.
Yeah.
It's funny that you called out Death Becomes Her because I was getting shorts on that like 2 days ago.
Oh, dude. Every once in a while, that movie pops in the mind because there's some things in that movie that are just like, they're red pill truths. And then there's also the hint of science fiction creepy shit like what we just talked about. Like, cloning or fucking people figuring out how to try to become immortal, or they fucking vampires, like the shit about Keanu Reeves and all the other people.
I still think vampires are fucking real. I still think they're real.
I do too. I mean, fuck, dude. If you read the Bible in Genesis 6, it explains that.
Yep.
Right? There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, and also afterward, before the flood. So there was this whole fucking world that became a fucking horror show with giants that would eat people. That's where cannibalism started and all that other stuff. Now imagine you have angels that came down and did it with women. Then they went and did it with animals. They created a whole
twisted bastards.
Weird fucking lines of like what you see in mythology, like a half bird, half man, dog man.
The chimeras, like Alex Jones talks about.
Yeah.
Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
Fucking fairies. But fairies are thought of to be as like angels. But they look like grays, apparently. But the elves are supposedly angelic bloodlines. Like they're real too. Like they're mentioned in the Bible, but you'd have to fucking know a bunch of different languages to see the equivalent from like Syrian, Hebrew, and Aramaic to what it was in like Celtic or whatever. It's crazy, but there's a connection. And I don't know. It's crazy.
I did see an alternate theory on that where we're in frequency, like vibration outside of the barrier. Like we're kept out here is why you start to see sightings. Remember how they talked about Bigfoot being kind of interdimensional and certain other cryptids being interdimensional? And it's where we, at that time, when you see it, you're vibrating just outside of the barrier at that time. And then they kind of shift back. Yeah.
Dude, I was listening to a podcast. It was the Confessionals, and it was I think number 395 or something like that. What one am I on? I think it was 385, and it was called Metaphysical Dogman. And it had Tony Merkel, who's the host of the Confessionals, and a guy named Josh Turner, and I think he has Paranormal Roundtable. I know he has a channel on YouTube, but he has a podcast, and he talks about when he saw a dogman in 1990, and then what happened after that, and all the other stories going on in this. I think it's called, the town is Taylor, Texas. And he ended up doing a lot of research into like the stuff that you guys were talking about like the dog-headed people in the 1400s and how St. Christopher had the head of a dog. And, you know, I've seen these paintings and all this stuff where you have like dog people and they're meeting with fucking knights, and it's in Europe somewhere. And it's like, what the fuck? How did that get erased? And then if you go a little farther, you guys ever see like fucking, he was Red Skull's fucking assistant, and he becomes like a computer guy. And he lives inside the bunker. I forget his name. Arnim Zola, right? Well, there are these people that if you look at Arnim Zola in the comic books or the cartoons like on Disney, he's like this dude that has like a human body, but his face is right here. And there's no head, right? Well, there's these pictures of people that are in like Africa or something that look like that. Do you guys remember seeing pictures like that? Ever?
I remember seeing the werewolves from medieval times with lycanthropy.
Uh-huh.
And I remember them talking dog guys that side of the house with the werewolves and shit. But I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if it was ever attributed like having the head on a man. It was the transformation.
Yeah, it was so weird and bizarre, dude. Because I remember seeing that, right, as a little boy, like with Time Life books and all that stuff, like Misters of the Unknown series. I wish I had all 33 volumes of it. That shit was amazing.
Well, Ancient Aliens kind of brings it up when they're going through that talk about species and stuff like that, and genetic mutations, you know, or manipulation. So I don't know. You can go any way with any of studying that stuff.
Right.
Well, what's crazy is like if you read the book of Jasher, it talks about that. It talks about a guy that found the pillars where all the information was stored before the flood of Noah just covered the whole earth and killed everybody that breathed there. Right. Anything that breathed there died. Whether you were big or small, you died.
I was just reading an article on that. They found over a 2 million pound boulder that was washed inland, and I think it was from a tsunami during the Younger Dryas time. So, you know what I mean? Like the ocean moving a 2 million pound fucking boulder. I can't remember how far inland it was, but it's a few hundred miles, like by itself, just hanging out. Wasn't like it fell off of a piece of mountain, you know, fucking fall away. No, it's just a boulder out fucking middle of nowhere.
Yeah, water is crazy powerful, man. I mean, you look at the Missoula flood. I'm sure you've heard about the Missoula flood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
When a glacier broke in Missoula, around Missoula, Montana, and pushed its way all the way to western Washington. And all the geography in the region between there and here proves it. You know, it's all been very scientifically verified, but the power of water is freaking terrifying.
Well, yeah. Do you guys remember the report from Mount St. Helens eruption?
Where you're talking about the instant fossilization and petrification and the entire study of the strata that happened in a matter of days.
Yeah, like it created
it
created like a grand
mini Grand Canyon. Yeah.
Yeah. And like it was like you said, it was within a matter of days. So like well, if we watch this happen instantly, how can we justify saying that this happened in the Grand Canyon for thousands of years?
Do you want me to tell you? Because I think you already know.
Years or whatever it was, you know.
Yeah. I'd tell you, and I think you already know. But I'd be pretty much beating a dead horse if I did so.
Hey, Mick, you got that fucking knife with you?
Which one?
The one you showed on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got it for my son.
I don't know if Little Tate seen it or Rocky seen it.
I haven't seen it because I'm not on Facebook.
Okay, hang on a sec.
Sweet looking knife, man.
All right, give it a minute. Yeah, I bought it for the boy because he's going to be moving out sometime this late summer, fall, and he always wanted a Bowie, and so I found a fella in one of my knife groups that makes them. And, price was right. Quality was good from what I could see. So had to make my boy a knife.
Outstanding.
Yeah, well, one of them things. I gave him my So I've always been a knife guy, weapons guy, so on.
I think most guys are, honestly.
Yeah, right. So
like you look at like a paper clip or a pin, you're like, I can use this as a weapon against somebody.
But I like the handle of that fucking Bowie. The handle is what sets it apart, in my opinion.
Like what Rocky was saying, John Wick, he killed 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
Yep.
But yeah,
I mean, the funniest fucking exaggeration of that was in Vin Diesel was Riddick. It was the Chronicles of Riddick when he was in that prison, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you with this fucking paper
cup."
Yeah, the tin cup.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
hey, Becky. Okay.
Like that's guys thinking of what? Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Woo!
But look at the handle,
Full
man.
tang, right? Full tang.
That's what I like the most on that. Sets it apart. The fucking grips right there, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
How much was that thing? If you don't mind me asking.
$250.
Fuck, I might have to order one. Fuck.
Does he make swords?
You don't need no sword, Rocky.
Well, I mean, if you're serious, Gilly, I can send you the link to the guy's Facebook page. You could,
Yeah. Hell yeah, send it to me.
Link. Yeah, I will. Yep. No, Homeboy's really good.
That's not bad price, really, for handmade and all that shit. That's not.
And that's shipped from Austria.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a tang too, man. You could knock somebody out with the butt of that thing.
I've never seen a Bowie knife with that style tang ever, right? With everything curved in the way it is, right?
Full tang though, right? Full tang.
Yeah, 1/4 inch thick at the back.
Yeah.
But most of the Bowies here made in the U.S. ain't like that.
No.
At all.
No, they typically got the straight handle, smooth handle, and then they got
coffin handle.
Yeah, and then the cross guard right there, like that one had, and that's about it to keep your hand from slipping.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that grip in there, dude.
Oh fuck yeah, man! That's fucking.
Look at the spine of this thing. I mean,
was it wood?
This here spine is damn near 3/8 inch thick.
Yeah.
Goes all the way to the butt. I mean, you knock a man out with that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's wood too, right?
Yeah, that's
on the outside of the tag. Yeah.
Yeah, that's red oak.
Oh shit, that'll last for a long time.
Nice.
Forever.
I mean, yeah. That's a beautiful little knife, man. That is.
That's what my vessel's made out of, was red oak. That motherfucker got heavy after first week.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Got it with you?
Oh, there he is.
Dude, my vessel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on, give me a second. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Now he can recreate fuck with that knife, fucking goddamn Crocodile Dundee now.
There's no knife.
This is a knife.
And the funny thing is, I actually
nice.
have a switchblade like the thug pulled, so I could actually recreate that scene right now.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to see the new firearm I got?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hold on.
Red Oak gets fucking heavy, but
yes, it does. I mean, that's a nice little tape.
Yeah, we built it one day, but the guy that we were building it with, he's like, "Are you sure you want to use this?" Yeah, we want to use. The wrong fucking idea. We should have listened to Norm, which is funny because he did the woodworking with us, and his first name's fucking Norm. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we did it simple. We just made a box and split it in half with a saw.
But Mick, you're gonna make fucking Spitty jealous, man, with knives.
Ooh,
nice
shotgun.
Yep.
Mossberg 940 tactical
with
a Holosun.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's really nice. How heavy is it? It's pretty heavy or no?
About 7 pounds. Not heavy at all. Very light, well balanced, pointable. 7+1 capacity with a 2 3/4 shell. 6+1 with a 3-inch shell.
Yep.
Got the oversized bolt handle, oversized bolt release.
Order.
What's that?
No, nobody. Just saying, disclaimer that the gun is empty and unsafe for YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This thing is indeed empty.
Yep.
You gotta get rid of the nasty stuff here.
Not safe.
Get...
Typical Mossberg tank safety.
Yep.
Oh, that's the best one too, because righty or lefty, man, it's right on the top.
Oh yeah.
I love
That's
Mossbergs.
So
I mean, I use a Mossberg for home defense. I got mine's a pistol grip, right? The pistol head, right?
Yeah.
And stuff.
And it's got a choke option too, so it comes with a open choke right now. But if I want to put in a modified choke or whatever, I can do that.
Or full choke, all that shit. Yeah.
Full choke modified doesn't matter.
Yep. So you went to Montana to get that, didn't you?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
But how was your trip out on your vacation? How was it?
Oh, dude, it was great, man. The weather was cooperative. I went to the Buffalo Bill Cody Museum of the West, dude.
Yep.
Just their gun archive alone had 4,300 guns.
Oh yeah.
When
Did
you
they
go to
have
that
like some of
museum,
the crazy stories that they talked about? Bill Cody and everyone when he was in
a lot of displays about that. A lot of displays about his shooting roadshow and all that. Wild Bill Hickok's 1851 Gap and Ball Navy Colt was there.
Yep.
Samuel Colt's personal guns were there. Like there was a
Gatling gun. I mean, that's an awesome place to go. I've been there. That's awesome, man.
Seriously, like they give you a 2-day pass because they know you can't cover the whole thing in one day.
Exactly.
That's
awesome.
It's crazy. Because I was wondering, like, if they talked about, like, he had a story that was in a book called True Legends by Stephen Quayle, and it talks about they had a story where the Indians came upon, like, the femur bone of a human. It was like 6 feet. They said that the old men or the old chiefs used to give stories about back in the olden days. They used to have giants that were 15 to 18 feet tall. That would field, capture a buffalo or a bison, rip its leg off and eat it, and still carry it, and run or whatever. They were that fucking fast, and they lived on the United States of America, wherever those tribes were.
We all know
they have that story there, or no? They didn't have that there, did they?
They did not, and I think we all know why. Half of that shit's buried in the Smithsonian and so on and so forth. You know, we all know this.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, they didn't have that. They did have like Wild Bill Hickok stuff, a lot of Buffalo Bill stuff, a lot of Annie Oakley, like a lot of her like guns, outfits, and things like that she'd do for the traveling roadshow. They had a gallery of gunfighters, so Wyatt Earp stuff, Wild Bill stuff, a lot of that sort of thing.
Yeah, one of my aunts is a relative of Annie Oakley.
Can she shoot?
No.
It's a wasted line then.
She's a great aunt, man. She was awesome.
I'm sure she is. I'm just breaking balls.
But I remember my mom's brother married her, so that was how she was my aunt, and she was like one of my favorite aunts growing up. And just fucking funny thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, I remember I was talking about Mount St. Helens, and did you ever hear the other crazy shit that happened besides the Grand Canyon and all that? I've been lately seeing these fucking videos, and I think they're AI, but it's like crazy, and it's interesting, saying that they had to have a lot of law enforcement and all those other people go out there because they were finding Bigfoots that were all messed up from the volcano.
That's a new one on me, buddy.
Yeah, like I don't. It's crazy that I heard that thing, but I'm like, man, that's fucking interesting. If they tried to cover that up,
yeah, right.
And that would lend credence to them saying that this is the most endangered species in the world. If most of them got killed by Mount St. Helens fucking volcano erupting,
but still, you see, this is where I am with cryptids, though, and this is kind of it's kind of tough to talk about this sort of thing because there's enough proof of certain things to where you definitely got to believe. Like the whole Mothman thing, I am completely on board with Mothman. That shit happened, right? But people have been squatching for what, 50 years now?
At least
40 years?
Something like that. I think longer.
And they've never found one. And it screws with me because I know these squatchers, they believe in Squatch as much as I believe in Mothman. But there's like tons of corroborating evidence for the Mothman and virtually none for Sasquatches. And so that's kind of like,
I have a friend, Dave.
With the cryptid thing.
I have a friend.
Judging, I'm just saying.
I have a friend that I was stationed with in at Sugi. He was an MA1 with me at that time.
Yeah, okay.
And this dude was from Georgia, and this motherfucker was like one of the best fucking leaders I ever worked with. And he told me how to like tell a fucking funny story when you're trying to chew out sailors because you have a dismount because they acted like fucking dumb fucks all day at work and got in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
They shouldn't have been helping others in trouble. And so, he would do these outrageous fucking illustrations to prove the point and made everyone laugh at the time, learn the fucking lesson. Anyways, this guy also had like this weird knowledge because he was part of an organization. And he said one day we were talking about Bigfoot. And he said, well, what if Bigfoot was like an alien or like a spiritual being that lives out there, but you can't catch him because humans have not proven that they're worthy. Kind of like the fucking space aliens that always talk to people psychically and create the UFO cults.
But now we're getting into
I never heard that shit before. That's the woo kind of stuff, right? I don't know. But it was interesting because he said, like, what if I told you that I had a conversation with the Bigfoot or something like that? And he said, he told me this crap. And he speaks fucking language just like me. He wasn't roaring like fucking Chewbacca or anything like that. and I was just like, okay, because I was a little drunk, and I know he was drunk too. But it was just a crazy fucking story.
But how high was the motherfucker? On shrooms?
We were in the towers and at NFSU. I'd go hang out with him because we were both watch commanders. We were in the same section. He was the watch commander. I was the assistant watch commander. So we worked nights. So I had to stay up all night. And then, like, I was working nights when I had my days off because it was hard to adjust to just like day, night, day, night. Like, it'd be so chaotic. You get no fucking balance or no sleep, and you can't be on your can't mind your P's and Q's if you're getting no sleep, right? So we would do that, and we'd have these crazy fucking conversations about that stuff. And that came up one day, and it was like, that's crazy.
What did you say about minding your P's and Q's?
Pints and quarts.
There we go. I was about to say.
Yeah.
I still go with the interdimensional theory for Sasquatch because of bones.
He was insinuating that too.
Yeah. And that's where that alternate theory is a vibration and frequencies, and the barrier, like Mick was saying, the veil, when it gets lifted a little bit when you're in that area. Kind of like the Mantis Man. Did you see that one too? The
You're
insect.
talking about the ones in the Amazon basin in Peru?
No, they've been around everywhere.
No, well, not the pelicaras, the ones that are the face pillars that are the insectoids. That
Yeah. No, these are stories of guys. It's on the Y-Files talking about the insectoids themselves, and they do that psychic talk between people, and it typically is terrifying because of the aura that they give off. So you know what I mean? Like there's that barrier, but when they get in between, everything's so strong that we're fucking weak as shit.
Yeah. But I've heard other ones where like they have like an insectoid and a reptilian.
Yeah.
And then they have a gray. And they're all in there and there's a fucking pecking order. And I can't remember if it's the reptilians that are on top or the insectoids that are on top.
I think it's the insectoids that are on top.
Like they're a higher rank. Like it's like a military.
Yeah.
Like the angels have an army of their own that are against the Most High.
Yeah.
So, kind of.
I think the argument is the insectoids were fighting the reptilians, and the grays kind of fall in the middle as like worker ants in between there.
But they're also fighting the Pleiadians, right?
I think so.
The ones that are blonde hair, blue eyed giants or whatever.
Yeah,
like me.
There's a lot of stories surrounding it, and you go like we were saying, eyewitness accounts, like with the Mothman and stuff like that.
Yeah, what convinced you that to make you think that Mothman's real? I want to hear this. Like that's just interesting. I want to hear this, man.
Okay, so back in the day, I believe it was the late 50s, early 60s in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weird shit was going on over a course of like 2 or 3 evenings, right? And the Mothman was spotted. One of them chased one sighting of the Mothman. He actually got chased in his car. The guy swore he hit 100 miles an hour, and that thing was still on his tail. He was standing by the road. He drove by, and the thing just followed him. Another person saw him in the yard and saw him kind of like looking into the window, red eyes. And I think there was some other viewings of him, right? Some sightings. That's just one facet of it, mind you. This is kind of a longer explanation. So all these people were perfectly sane, mentally competent, no history of insanity, no history of alcoholism, coming from different walks of life, male, female. Like there was nothing that would indicate that any of these people would lie about any of this, and no assumption of drug abuse or mental illness that would contribute to it.
Because their lives are so dissimilar that there was no pattern to recognize, right?
And these were all completely normal people, right? And so there was that. A lot of other people saw UFOs, lights in the sky, those same 3 evenings. And the police received dozens and dozens of reports. Again, equally dissimilar people from different houses, different parts of the town, all describing the exact same thing. Okay, none of these people were in cahoots. And they also had a lot of reports of men in black. A lot of people showing up in cars, black suits, glasses. And again, all corroborated. Like all these people, this has all been documented. Asking questions. What did you see? Where did you see it? So on and so forth. Like all of this was so cohesive, and everything was corroborated so completely over such a short period of time that there is no possible way that it couldn't have been mass psychosis. It couldn't have been coordinated. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things it's just outside the realm of believability that this could have been orchestrated or mass hysteria or anything like that, because this was a rural community. These people knew each other, but they were separated by significant distances. And they're all saying the same thing, more or less, right? And then it just kind of sort of went away.
Ed Keene was the one that did the report, and it actually went up to Congress. I have the picture from it.
Yeah, and the whole thing centered around this the point. Or I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the bridge, but that bridge collapsed and killed all those people.
Yeah, like
the Silver Bridge.
Up there, and then sometime later it collapsed and killed people.
And all this shit happened, and too much happened to too many people in too short a period of time for this to have been a hoax that anybody, could have perpetrated.
I don't know if I can get it up there.
It just wasn't possible.
Have you I listened to a podcast, right? And I listened to Blurry Creatures, and they had a guy that was from Texas that had a museum. I forget his name, and he had like bones of giants and dinosaur bones and displays. But he was not like the guy that believed in evolution, and he had a bunch of information on what we were just talking about. And he talked about their stories of Mothman in Texas.
Really?
Remember, I saw a fucking
Texas, Iowa, all over, man.
Yeah, in Chicago, in fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
Mothman has been spotted on buildings.
Yeah, on the skyscrapers, there's video
and
of
then
it.
There's even crazier stories about Mothman, where Mothman is attracted to women during their cycle. And one came to a girl who was on her cycle in bed and was attracted to her, and it had the red eyes and all that other shit, right? But she prayed the name of Jesus Christ, and the thing left immediately.
Same thing happens with alien abductions.
I remember I heard that a couple of years ago, and I was like, that's fucking crazy, because it's so out of the realm of what you guys think is reality, and that's what happened.
Sorry, I got to make a correction. It was John Keel, and his letter went to Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy is where his letter went to. And I'll read it really quick. It says, "Thank you for your thoughtful letter on so-called unidentified flying objects. Many reputable scientists agree that there must be other beings in the universe. Dr. Harlow Shapley, for one, has stated that there is a high probability that there are other life forms in the universe. To believe that there is other life in the universe is not, however, to believe that UFOs are manned vehicles. One explanation of the phenomena connected to the lights that are seen with the gaseous trail of comets. A careful analysis of sightings to date has not given us any indication of UFOs or manned." And then they went on from there. That's a letter from the senator. So that's the playoff. Like, this is from 1966. So they went through it, like Nick was saying, all the Men in Black, and then the hearing goes, John Keel does all the things from the Silver Bridge, all the stories, the TNT factory. The TNT factory is a key part of that area.
Are in the fucking story of the Mothman?
Yes, they are.
What?
That's what I was saying, dude.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get to. You got to tell me that part, because I didn't hear.
I told you about that
right here. Sorry, hold on. I'll pull it up.
I don't remember that. Like,
yeah, when all the shit was going down in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Men in Black were coming to various people's houses and asking questions.
Yeah.
Did they give descriptions of the Men in Black and what they looked like?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did an article. Gary Baker did.
Like, did they have, like, I just heard something today that they had glowing eyes.
No.
That was Mothman.
No, it ain't same Men in Black.
No.
Men in Black.
Like, these things look like the Men in Black, but they had glowing eyes. That's just weird looking thing.
No, Men in Black is us in a government agency form.
Yeah,
no one knows about.
This was saying that they were something fucking completely different.
No. Okay, Rocky, I dropped a link in the group text.
Yep.
That's a link to the book, The Mothman Prophecies, that I have. That'll explain everything.
Yep, and then look up Operation Trojan Horse.
Ooh, yeah, we got to talk about that shit too.
What's that?
So Operation Trojan Horse. It's a little bit longer of a letter, but this is all from the Mothman Museum. This is what they have on hand, like actual documents. Hold on, it's a little bit. I got to get it in the right one. So the fate seems to be working against me these days. I just haven't. This is from Dear Abel and Park, and I think it's from John. It's from John Keel again. Been able to get back down to West Virginia. All this running around. Screaming long overdue. And my book, to be titled Operation Trojan Horse, and True Magazine is still looking for MSS Dot and of the Mothman story. So he goes to write the book about Operation Trojan Horse. He doesn't go into too much detail about it, but that's what he staples it as.
What's Operation Trojan Horse?
That's one I got to look up. I hadn't really got into it that much.
That sounds like some kind of like sneaking something in. Like it would be like kind of like Inception. Like I don't know if Inception's real, but the concept of having people go and dream the same dream and interact in the same dream to plant an idea in their head. That way, when they wake up, they start thinking about it and it happens. It's just fucking crazy. It's almost like MK Ultra kind of shit too, if that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of dreams, last night I had one that the wife was still serving, right? And we was back on board on her, but our jobs say if you was engineers, you were topsiders. Topsiders were engineers.
So this letter,
I've actually lived that experience. It was called.
We're gonna break. What?
So sorry, I was going to say that this is titled "The Rare Letter John Keel About Mothman and the Men in Black." So this letter is what it's talking about, saying his phone's been disconnected. One of the guys that seen it went AWOL, which AWOL has a stamp over it because he's writing on a typewriter. So it just kind of like a cryptic around the Men in Black and the Mothman in West Virginia.
That's fucking interesting shit right there.
Tell you, man. Read the book. Order that book and read it.
So that book convinced you that Mothman was real? Out of all
I was convinced before then. I read about the Mothman when I was in elementary school. Back in the 80s.
And there's a lot of documentaries out there on that too, what he's saying about West Virginia and all that. There's a lot of out there. I think the Y-Files even talked about it on one episode too.
Did you hear that stuff about him and the Mothman in Texas, though?
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard about that one. When did that happen?
Dude, it's on Blurry Creatures. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll send it to you guys.
So you can also look up the Flying Saucer Convention in New York. So it was 1967 Congress of Scientific Ufologists, June 23rd to the 25th, 1967, Commodore Hotel in New York City. And then it gives you the page about what's what. And page 36 and 43 is, are the mystery men who visit witnesses to UFO landings and scare them into silence.
Send a link to that, would you?
I don't have the link. These are all pictures that I got from the museum.
Okay, all right.
That's why I'm reading them. I mean, I guess I could post them up, but
non-digital fucking prick you.
And then there's one that's like, why do flying saucers kidnap dogs? And then it goes,
because everyone loves dogs, duh.
And then like Vi Venus, really from planet Venus, Nazca lines, flying saucers caused our massive blackouts. This is from 67. So you all see them like starting to correlate together around the same times. So I'm with Mick. I'm a 100% Stotch Mothman fucking fanboy.
Well,
yeah.
I just found
one of these days I got to make a pilgrimage to Point Pleasant.
I'm sending it to you guys in the group right now. It's that Blurry Creatures episode with Joe Taylor where he talks about Mothman in Texas and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like it blew my, like I listened to this thing. I found that podcast when one day I was on fucking YouTube and I had like, a Strong Successful Male was on there and then it had something on like the fucking gray aliens or 8-foot tall giant aliens in fucking Peru. And it was Timothy Albarino was talking to Blurry Creatures. And they were talking about the face peelers and the insectoids and all that other stuff. Well, I looked up Blurry Creatures and I started listening to the podcast and I was like, man, this fucking podcast is awesome. It's great. It's 80s themed. So everything is like 80s. Like they draw Bigfoot because they say Bigfoot is the foundation of everything paranormal or supernatural or anything like that. And they got like him wearing a Walkman with sunglasses and he looks like he's fucking Teen Wolf and shit like that from like Michael J. Fox time. And
that's how you know you're old. You refer to things as the Michael J. Fox times.
Yeah, Teen Wolf and Back to the Future and all that. And so that's how I found this podcast. And then I found I found the Confessionals when Blurry Creatures had them on. And then I heard about Sasquatch Chronicles from Confessionals because I guess that guy had started talking about all these Bigfoot shit and all that stuff way earlier, like maybe in 2012. But Joe Rogan had already been podcasting for about 2 years by that time, something like that. So it goes back that far. But I found the podcast and I sent it to you guys if you want to listen to it. It's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot to go through in that little chat group, don't we?
Huh?
Oh, so we got a lot to go through in that little chat group now, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. It's shit we can talk about. That's crazy, or just interesting, because there's a whole lot that they talk about in those podcasts that's just crazy. Like with one, you're seeing like a pattern of what, like they start out talking about this, and then it gradually grows into this and other things and all that, and it's showing a pattern of the way things in reality go. And the other one is just like these crazy things that people have seen, whether it's UFOs, Bigfoot, orbs, missing time, Dogman, portals opening up and creatures coming out and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's crazy because like it's all in these podcasts and it's really interesting.
Like, you ever watch Mr. Ballin?
Yeah. I remember he did one about like Navy SEALs that went somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains to kill something.
Yeah.
And some of them didn't live or something like that. I don't entirely remember the whole thing.
But yeah, he's also big into this sort of thing.
I think interest has grown in it. It's not as stupid and hokey as it used to be.
Well, the thing is, it never was. It got suppressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest conspiracy theory guy. I mean, I definitely believe they have validity, but I don't think that old German fairy tales and children's tales and folk tales, I don't think that they were as dark as they were for no reason.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're talking about something that I think too now.
I don't think that the Chinese zodiac has 11 animals that are real and one that isn't.
Because
unless dragons actually existed. I don't think that St. George and the Dragon was a fable. I don't think that Alexander the Great's men who saw dragons in India were lying. I mean, I know humans can be creative and they can come up with creative explanations for things they don't understand. I get that.
Yep.
But generally speaking, they don't become parts of the lore of a nation unless there is some manner of truth to it. Now, we all have exaggerations, of course.
Did you ever hear the one about
people don't just come up with this shit? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rock.
Did you ever hear the one about Alexander the Great said he was going somewhere to fight someone? And I forget. I think it was like India.
Hindu Kush.
Something like on the way, they got attacked by UFOs.
Yeah, it was the Hindu Kush. He had already conquered the Persian Empire. He'd already taken Babylon and Persepolis. He'd already crossed Afghanistan. He'd already routed the Indian army, ironically, with their own elephants. That's the funniest fucking thing. Read about that sometime. He turned their own fucking weapons against them. And his men encountered a lot of really weird shit. A lot of stuff.
I think there's a story that they fought like dogmen too. Like men with the dogs.
Alexander's army, they encountered some shit back then. And part of the reason why they stopped their conquest in India instead of driving all the way to the Pacific, they say because the men, they had enough. The supply trains got too long. They missed their families. It had been years. And he kind of figured they were on the verge of mutiny, no matter how much success and glory and everything. He figured even these men, with all this, greatness that we've accomplished, they've had enough. And so he wisely ended his campaign.
Mick, how far did the report say that the Greeks got going into India?
The middle of India.
So where is that at? Like compared to that, was India as big as like where Afghanistan and Pakistan are covered? All the way to China?
No, they got through Afghanistan. They got through Pakistan. They got into like the Indus Valley, like modern day India, the Indus Valley. Yeah. They got that far. And the story is the men said, we've had enough. And Alexander was wise enough to say, okay, we've conquered so much.
So they fought all those things on the way to India and they were in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Yeah, they were past in Pakistan, Afghanistan. They'd already gone past it.
Holy shit! So, like, what I'm thinking is like, you ever see Tales from the Grid Square on Instagram?
No,
it's this page, and they talk about paranormal encounters that the military's had.
Oh, like the Giant of Kandahar and all that?
Yeah. Well, they talk about how there's all this crazy shit in fucking Afghanistan, like giants, dogmen, panthers, lions, fucking all kinds of UFOs, like crazy shit like that. Like it's the Wild West of like, I think they said like there's one on there where it talks about they saw a person changed into a cat.
Like a skinwalker sort of thing.
Yeah. And then they saw like these people went into some place where they thought it was like terrorists in there, and when they went into this place that was like house or a party house, there were a bunch of dead bodies with their blood drained, and it was all gory, and there were people that drinking the blood. Like vampires.
Ugh, yeah.
Like vampires out there. like cannibal / vampire kind of shit. So like
it's in the
what you're saying is like all that stuff was out there in the time of Alexander the Great, and now it's just coming back in these crazy reports that people spill their guts on because they got to tell somebody when they went out there during the Afghanistan war. Just, I don't know. It's crazy. It's connecting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at the fucking Native Americans. I mean, for thousands of years, they're fucking wall paintings. Has a lot of the same shit that you see in Asia, Middle East, all that shit.
Yeah, like the same kind of thing. Like you have the bird man, you have like the fucking dragon looking fucking thing. You have like all kind, like Anubis. Like they say, like
the jackal-headed god of ancient Egypt. Yeah,
and then there's like a dog they say that's from Mexico, and it's a hairless dog, and it looks like Anubis in the face. And they say that's what Anubis is. It's not necessarily a jackal. It's crazy. Like like they're saying that old Egypt or the original Egypt was America and South America, and like Israel was on one side or whatever, and like all those places were actually out there, which
all the way from the Mississippi Valley all the way to the Grand Canyon.
And the Mississippi was the Nile River, right?
Yep.
It's just so crazy. Like, and I forget, what did they say what the Red Sea was out there?
Because Red Sea was actually off right there in California.
Where like California was like, had this like thing right there.
Yep.
And it was an island.
Yep. Well, California was here. They had like an island in there, and that was Red Sea.
Oh, dude. Did you ever hear the story that there's a girl that they had that lived on that island, and it has to connect with the Tartarian Empire? She had dragons. And they said that Daenerys from Game of Thrones was based off the chick that was the mother of dragons that lived on that little island that was California, that had water in between the rest of like California and Nevada and all those other places. Did you guys ever hear about that shit? Oh, man.
No, I hadn't heard about that one.
Oh man, there's a book. His name is James something. I have a couple of his books upstairs. There, let me see. Let me change my background. We can see my maybe we can see the title of the book, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Look.
Oh, Ty Horrors, cool. Thanks, Gil.
Yep. So, like, there's these books right here. Oh, they're all backwards. Hold on, I gotta reverse the image.
Damn it, Billy!
Well, I just seen the new one. There was a targeted terror attack in Colorado against Israeli demonstrators.
Huh.
Yep.
Can you imagine what the dude's name is?
Gahuf Mahuk.
Mohammed Solomon.
Yeah, Gahuf Mahuk. Or whatever.
I haven't been able to throw it away yet. I was going to run it out there and forgot.
There you go. Thank you.
No.
So like these books right here, they're all about like that kind of stuff. And the guy, I can't zoom in on his name, but his name is James something. And he's all these crazy books. And he has one about like the Tartarian Empire and how this lady was like the mother of dragons in California.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because there's like some kind of legend in northern central California where there's a lot of vineyards where there's like a dragon buried there or some shit like that.
I don't know. That's even a stretch for me, and I watch a lot and listen. This is pretty far out there. I don't know, man. Like, I'll take Atlantis fucking flying vehicles from the Disney cartoon before this one.
Dude, it was in a book. I'm just like, this shit was
I know.
crazy.
I know. I'm just, and
I just thought it was interesting to
it's
bring up because it's so fucking outrageous. I have a hard time believing it.
it's an interesting concept. Like we were talking about with the Grand Canyon, Mount St. Helens, and everything else that has been talked about over centuries. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's just like, I don't know how many lines I can draw on this one.
The Grand Canyon you can because there's a no-fly zone around certain areas.
No, it's completely cordoned off in certain areas.
Because of the ancient Egyptian artifacts out there?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, if you got ancient Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon and you start looking at the Mississippi River and the Red Seas, geographically, like it's got some.
Yeah, I mean, looking at all up down the Mississippi, there's pyramids all the Mississippi. That's dated before the fucking pyramids in Egypt are.
Well, what's crazy and what blows my mind about this is like when they crossed the Red Sea, did they cross the fucking Atlantic Ocean and end up in Israel proper where they are on the map today? And how?
No, too far.
Like it seems so far.
That's like
what I think. That's what I think is so hard about this theory. It's because it's like either it's a fake Israel and it's only the Jews, but if it's the real Israel, it's going to have all 12 tribes or 13 technically.
See, the thing is, when Egypt was supposedly in America, right? That's when everything was fucking connected.
Like Pangea?
Yes.
That's why it has to be pre-flood.
So I'm a
it would have to be pre-flood. Like, but we know that Moses and the Exodus and everything like that was after the flood of Noah for at least close to 600 years by that time. 800 years.
I'd say longer than that, though, too.
The more archaeological evidence brings up, the more it corroborates what the Bible says, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Right? That puts pretty much everything firmly in what we now know as the Middle East. I think that speculation is fun. I think that drawing parallels and comparisons is a perfectly natural thing for people to do, just sort of cover their bases. But the idea that biblical stuff happened in North America,
it's hard to believe, right?
I can't buy it. I can't buy it. There is too much archaeological, cultural, linguistic, and religious evidence in the Middle East that corroborates what the Bible says happened right there. I think in those times we had the rest of the world to explore. We did.
That happened after the continents fucking split apart, too.
This is correct. It did, yes.
That happened before the flood, fucking before everything.
Well, the continent splitting apart, I guess, would be in the days of Peleg in Genesis, right? That would be Peleg when the world began to divide. I think his name means division in Hebrew.
And the thing is, I do believe that there was a pan-Earth civilization beforehand.
Well, yeah, that's what.
Again, the similarities of the pictograms we see in South America, the Middle East, all sorts of places, North America, the ziggurats, the shape of the boats, the knowledge, the stories, the similarities in the language and the fables, like all these things all come together to where it's basically undeniable that at one point the entire world was united basically under one culture of some kind. I do totally agree with that.
Atlantis.
I think it was part of it.
Well, then there's Mu and Lemuria, right? Mu and Lemuria, Hyperborea.
Hyperborea.
I'm not sure if there's anything else besides those, like Atlantis, Hyperborea, Mu, Lemuria,
Agartha,
Gartha, but that's Inner Earth, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's still part of that whole series of itself.
So, like,
but the point,
all these different realms, or I don't know.
It's interesting. But the point being, though, all these things did exist, yeah. But when it comes to the things that have been told through the different books of the Bible coming through the centuries, and the things that we found in the ground from Egypt to Iraq, regionally, that's where those things happened. You know, and I don't think there's any real use in trying to extrapolate any of this stuff into saying that maybe it happened in North America or whatever, because why would it?
That's what's so crazy.
You know, it's like Occam's
because
razor.
That's what
the simplest explanation is usually the best one. And the simplest explanation is all significant things in the Bible happened pretty much in what we call the Middle East these days. I don't see any real point in trying to go past that. I mean, I'm as curious as the next guy. I want to know everything, right?
The reason why this guy started writing this book, one of the reasons is, like, the North America is the true old Egypt, right? That's because everything dated.
Or it's a true old Africa, right?
True old Africa, yes. But everything dated a hell of a lot longer than what they have in Egypt now. You know, carbon dating and all that bullshit, the pyramids that's on the Mississippi, everything. It's older than what's in Egypt now.
So it had to be.
Well, yeah, you look at the
and those artifacts in the Grand Canyon,
Turkey.
Yeah.
Look at the footprints.
That's like what? What's that?
The footprints. I mean, the footprints that are like
which footprints are you talking about?
And everything.
Yeah, right next to Triceratops tracks.
Yep.
There's a lot
but
of
also all that. When they found those first artifacts, the Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon, the Water Cave, right? When they dated those, older than what the new Egypt is.
Yeah,
older than
Göbekli Tepe is like 12,000 years old, and it was unearthed in Turkey.
Yep.
Yeah, there's another one that's even more weirder than that they haven't talked about.
Because what we know of
it's Göbekli something else too, and it's in Turkey.
Yeah, I told you the Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Well, there's another.
The whole thing is, they're just now getting to.
Oh yeah, there is another one. Yeah, you're right.
See, they're just now getting to our true history, uncovering our true history, and they don't want it out there. Really, they don't, because if they did, they have to rewrite everything.
Did you hear about the subway? Did you hear about the subway they're trying to make in Rome?
No,
I don't hear about that one.
Okay, so they've been trying to make a new subway in Rome, and it's been taking years and years and years to get this fucking thing done, because every 100 meters or so, they run into some new shit underground, and the archaeologists swoop in and say, "Nah, you can't excavate this until we've studied it."
What did they find?
Oh, just all sorts of shit, like all sorts of things from like old, Roman culture and, proto-Roman culture. They're finding so much stuff underground in Rome. They can't dig a tunnel for a subway because there is so much history. Like I said, every 100 meters, they find some new crazy shit. They got to stop and let the archaeologists come in and examine everything, get the artifacts, and make sure it's all good to go. They go another little while. They come up with some new walls, some new frescoes, some new artifacts. They got to stop. Archaeologists got to come in. That's how much history there is under one part of Rome that they're trying to dig a tunnel through that's big enough to hold a train, which really ain't that big.
See, the thing is, that people forget too, that cities were built on top of old cities.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Same way like St. Louis is. There's a city underneath St. Louis. There's a city underneath fucking Chicago, Seattle, fucking
catacombs of Paris.
You talk about the one in LA?
I mean, we're just talking about like cities are built on top of old cities.
Oh yeah, dude. And then they have one that's in fucking LA, and they said that they found like fucking lizard people down there.
Yeah, you got the one in St. Louis that they found too. Chicago, New York too. I mean, if they dig in New York, Guarantee they're gonna find shit that's of historical value, most likely. You know? I mean, everything's built on top of everything.
Snuck and futz.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I guarantee in England, you can find some shit in fucking London. If you truly dig down, you're gonna find some shit from the first, years that we know of, most likely.
Well, even Stonehenge itself in England, that's only a fraction of what lies underneath.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at the big fucking things in South America or the Pacific, right? Those big statues, right? I can't remember
They
their
say
names.
that those are the toes. Stonehenge is the toes.
Dude, when they dug down to the fucking those big old statues in the
Oh yeah,
Pacific,
they're like really like
Easter Islands.
Yeah.
When they dug down, they're
40
like,
feet
holy
tall.
shit.
Yeah, they're 40 feet tall, dude. They ain't just
Yeah.
heads in the ground.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot
Everyone
of
thought it was heads in the ground. The one archaeologist goes, no, there's got to be more to this. You know. But they don't want us knowing our true history. They don't.
There's a
gentlemen,
book on
what
that.
have
It's
we
called.
gotten ourselves into with this one?
Well, there's a book. There's a book by a guy, and it's called Species Amnesia, and it's talking about how like humanity has lost the real, true history of
It has.
our actual place in our known universe and how we rank and everything, and what happened to make us think that.
I mean, yeah, you can look at everything in the Bible, right? For history wise, right? But that's not even fucking accurate. There's history before that was even fucking written. All that shit was.
I think that you're onto something there, but it had nothing to do with the Bible. Or, like a lot of people think what you're getting at is like the Younger Dryas thing, right? The thing that's like 11,000, 12,000 years ago. Are you froze, Jay?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. And like the actual flood that we think of, the flood of Noah, is actually what happened then.
Yeah.
And that civilization was the old civilization that we are finding now that's in the United States and all over the world. It's this world web civilization, but then it's like, okay, if this so it wasn't just Atlantis, was this civilization also warring against Lemuria, Hyperborea, Mu, Agartha, Shangri-La, or whatever it is, right? All those places, where they all at war with each other. And it makes you think, like, what the hell's really going on? Is that our history, or is that fantasy, or is that a little bit of both? Who knows?
Keep going. I got answers to this.
Huh?
What?
I couldn't hear him.
Who's got an answer?
He's looking something up.
Oh, is it from the book? Or a theory, or what? I think you're muted, Gilly. You're muted.
Gilly, you're muted. He says he knows he's muted. Whatever.
I can't read lips.
Yeah, he's looking something up.
Well, and I think everything, like we're talking about, every theory out there, every book, every person, I think everything's worthy of a little bit of investigation and skepticism on either side, but it shouldn't stop you from at least learning. I mean, like we said, some of them are like, ooh, that's a little far-fetched, but let me give it a look and see what it says. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't stop you.
Like, when I bring up that crazy stuff, it's because, like, I see something happen and I see another thing happen. I see how there's a little connection between it.
Right, but you got to remember, causation isn't always correlation.
Well,
So
it's just weird.
got to kind of be careful. But everybody has their own views. But like I said, it shouldn't stop you from investigating the weird and, non-mainstream fucking ideas from academia either.
I think academia lost their credibility.
They lost their shit a long time ago, dude. Especially when we talked about the Smithsonian and the stuff that they're hiding in the Smithsonian. And, like, the Smithsonian reminds me of the vault in Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had 3 wishes, like a genie, right? My first two wishes would be for the combined assets of the Vatican and the Smithsonian. Translated into English and put out in its entirety on the internet.
And then every other secret library that holds secret knowledge.
I'd be fine with just those two, honestly. If you just tell me what the Vatican and the Smithsonian knows, the first two wishes, and after that,
there's a podcast of this woman named Diana Polsolka on Blurry Creatures, and she talks about how she got access to the Vatican, and they let her read and take notes on all the books about UFO sightings going back to ancient times that the Vatican had up to the present.
Is the chronovisor in there? That's what I want to know.
You know what?
I want the chronovisor.
I have not seen anything else on the chronovisor. I remember I heard about that thing in 2015 one day, and I was like, that's crazy. And so I haven't looked into it, but I think about it often. I just don't look into it. There's a book on Amazon that I would have bought if it was available.
Rocky, the reason I viewed it, I had Smitty call me because he thought I deleted my comment on his post.
Who?
Smitty. Gunner's mate Smitty.
Oh.
On it. That's why he was calling me. I said, I didn't delete shit, motherfucker. It's still there.
What? Ain't nobody deleting shit in this fucking group.
What
That knows what I'm talking about when I fucking said, quit crying, just get it done. About lifting weights. You know,
about what? What was it about?
No, him hitting Jim again, saying, that he wants to get back in shape. Just quit crying about it, just get it done.
No.
He's like, sent me a message like, what the hell, dude? It deletes shit, motherfucker. That's why I went mute, so that way you couldn't hear what we was talking about.
Right.
Is Smitty okay?
Oh, he's fine. Fuck.
Okay.
No, he's good, man. Well, think about Smitty is, man, he's a rolling stone, Yeah.
You never know where that motherfucker gonna end up at.
I thought, dude, that when he got out of the Navy, he would live and become like a mountain man.
It's probably close to it.
That wasn't a bad guess.
Like he would completely leave civilization and just live out in the mountains.
Or maybe like a Ted Kaczynski.
Except he picked Texas of all places.
I think he's from Texas.
No, he's from Indiana.
Yeah, he's an Indiana boy.
Yeah, what part of Indiana though?
Not sure.
Couldn't tell you. No, couldn't tell you. I think Indiana.
I think it's more south. Could be more south though. So
I know my good buddies when I talked to them yesterday, they were in southern Indiana, and I was like, yeah, if you below fucking Indianapolis here in Kentucky, and they're like, yeah, it was pretty bad when we had to stay there one night. I was like, oh, I bet. Fuck out of there. Oh, speaking of Indiana, did you guys see the guy that got beat up in a biker bar for not fucking paying his tab?
No.
It was a guy, it was a bar in Fort Wayne, and it was a biker's bar, and the dude was black. But it doesn't matter if you're black or white or whatever. If you're not going to pay your fucking tab in a biker bar, you're going to get your fucking ass beat.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
That's why the biker bar, if it's a true biker bar, you never run a fucking tab, you pay tax.
Or you don't even fucking go up in there.
True.
Just leave it to them. You can find plenty other bars.
It's like the bar in fucking Moss Isley, dude.
The cantina.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing was the guy was wearing a high-vis vest. Like he was like a county worker, city worker.
Well, he could have been riding his crotch rocket too in there with a high vis.
I don't know. It was a pretty big black dude, so I don't know if he thought he wasn't going to have any trouble or whatnot. But yeah, that didn't last long.
Yep.
No, you go to a bar like that, man. You see, I've been to plenty of bars where I knew it wasn't my demographic, so to speak. As long as you go there, you drink your drink, you make small talk, you pay your tab, and you don't make trouble, you're going to be fine. It's really not that hard. You really, I mean, hell, all of us have been all over the world. All of us have found ourselves in a bar that we knew we didn't belong in, right? How many times have we gotten our ass kicked? We haven't. Why? We drank our drink. We made our small talk. We paid for our drinks, kept our mouths shut largely, and fucking left. It isn't that hard. It really is not that difficult.
Or in Australia, where it was the bar fight between us, the Germans, and the Aussies.
Oh, that's just good fun. That's a different story.
Right?
Nope.
That's not a you against the establishment. I mean, as in the one you're sitting in type thing. That's all of us in here at once. Oh.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, that's just fucking violent recreation.
Yeah, right. Because they went after Ackerman. You remember Ackerman?
Oh, I remember Ack. He was a big motherfucker.
Yeah, they went after him first.
Well, that was stupid.
Yeah.
That's like going after fucking Samuel. What are you thinking?
He was an FC.
No, he was a CT.
And
Was
Cam
he
was
CT?
pissed.
He was a crypto tech.
Oh, okay.
And Cam was pissed that he missed that fucking brawl
Yeah, he was.
because he was mad.
Yeah, that brawl was a little gnarly.
Yeah.
That's when he was spending time with his wife too.
Because I had just left that bar when it went down.
What bar was this at? And this was in Australia?
Yeah, it was at that one we were getting the Scrumpy Jacks one.
Darwin.
Not
Darwin.
Yeah, it was in Darwin.
Not
Yeah.
Townsend?
Oh, Darwin.
Now, what Townsville didn't have stripper jacks.
Yeah.
We found that in fucking Darwin.
Yeah.
Stripper Jack?
Dude, we found our little Tate found it first. We're like, hey, where'd little Tate go? We found this little bar and that said he had stamps. I was like, God damn, he said, drink this.
It was
Like, shit.
I remember the dude's name. His name was Drew that owned the bar. He was an ex-football player. Like soccer.
Rugby.
Big tall motherfucker, dude.
What, he rugby, not soccer?
No.
I thought he was rugby.
Was it rugby? I
think
thought
so.
it was either
I mean,
one.
I
Either
could
one,
be
it
wrong.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. But that was a great bar. That was a great bar.
Yeah, because we were trying to close it down, like trying to go back in, and he's like,
Yeah.
piss off, motherfuckers, I'm closed.
Because
He's like, go find another bar.
you know what's funny about that? Before that bar was found, dude, me and you drank the hotel bar out of fucking Bacardi Limon.
Yeah.
That's when we went out to town. And then somehow you got supper. I'm like, where's little Tate? Let's see.
Well, no, that was the first day when they let us out in the morning.
Yep.
And I helped that chick put her TV up in front of her store and sat and talked with her. And Forsberg's sorry ass came through. Had to act like a dick bag. I wish I would have fucking ratted on him and told his wife he was fucking cheating on her in my hotel room.
Forsberg.
God.
He was,
Who is Forsberg? I know the name.
GSM.
Piece of shit.
He was a GSM.
God, I know the name.
I didn't like him.
Yeah, he was a fucking cocksucker.
Wood didn't like him either, man.
He was real arrogant
Dude.
because he was bigger. Like had
He
an
would
ego.
always narc on everybody too.
Yeah,
You'd always hear him whispering in the ear of Chief. Oh, this is.
He was a stool
so-
pigeon, huh?
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a big one.
A blue
Talking
falcon.
yeah. He was talking about, yeah, I'm fucking faithful with my wife, and that motherfucker snuck in my backpacker's room. Fucking some chick woke me up in the middle of it. I should have fucking jumped up and said shit, but
Well,
Yeah, but
I gotta read this real quick. Smitty goes
Deployment stays on deployment.
there. I'm just
Is
gonna
he
share
on
this.
YouTube right now? Or is this on Facebook?
It's on Facebook. I'm gonna share this right here. He goes,
Uh-oh.
look here, Dusty, don't be coming up here topside, start trouble shipwreck. You might get a nosebleed in the sun's tube right up here. You're going to get put needle good on duty. So get back down your hole, snipe, where you belong. Keep your shitters going, showers going.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
You know,
I heard that too. They used to call us troglodytes.
you know.
You should tell him try to contact us on YouTube right now or whatever.
Oh, but yeah,
Troglodytes. I've always liked that one.
what like Smitty don't understand is it's nice. We ran that bitch. You know, if you didn't have us, they couldn't do their jobs. Plain and simple. The majority of topsiders wasn't going to be able to fucking keep the lights on, you know, on the ship. Wasn't going to be able to.
Yeah, okay. On behalf of all topsiders, though, I gotta say, now fuck you. You listen now. If it wasn't for our spinny bits and for our guns and our projection of firepower, you wouldn't have a place to go. So
how you think you get
hole, troglodyte?
But how you think you got there?
That's where we gotta go.
How you think you got there?
Yeah, but all your spinny shit and projectile shit
wouldn't
even work without us.
Okay, guys. All right.
Technically, by us giving you all the electricity and everything was just job security for us, so we could go on vacation.
That's just like.
Why were we always in the villages cleaning up your shit because you assholes weren't competent enough to pass Car 2 on your own? Sorry.
Oh, we were competent. We were just tired of doing it. We were just tired of doing it, so we had you guys come help.
Yeah, well, that only happened one time after we got back from Japan in '98.
And we never forgot about it.
That's when, because everything was so fucked up. The whole boat was fucked up coming back from Japan. The whole boat was, But we had so much fucking shit wrong,
They called us 991 because they couldn't get underway. I'm just saying, I got on in '98. None of that shit was my fault. I was like, the engineers dropped the ball.
Like what Smitty don't realize.
My air conditioning, by the way.
Huh?
I turned on my air conditioning, by the way.
Well, good for you, tight ass. But Smitty forgets when he was a deck monkey. Oh, we knew we'd get bit going with that one.
Yeah, I had to turn on my air conditioning, Gilly.
Yeah, tight ass.
You guys have been giving me shit for that. I got it set at 70 70, 69, 70 degrees. Just to take the edge off.
Shit, I've had mine turned on since fucking early March.
Nope. Just turned mine on today.
Yeah, because here it's 87 degrees here.
It's in the 80s here. I just don't know. And there's no breeze. Otherwise, I'd have the windows open.
Now, you're in what, Illinois there?
No, I'm in Iowa. I mean, I'm right next to Illinois, but I would never live in Illinois.
Yeah, no.
Well, you couldn't be.
Or no.
Yeah, with your guns.
No, yeah, no. I would not.
I should tell Smitty. Well, you gotta lay off the tacos, brother.
I don't know. He has to come down to old Mr. Krabs and get a taco from him. That big B.
I'll find that one. I'll tell him too. Lay off the frozen pizzas. On it. Oh, that was a good batter there, Mick. Speaking of I'll speak for all topsiders now.
Well, it's okay. One of me against a bunch of you. It's a fair fight.
Oh, gosh.
Except for Combat Systems trying to do Brother Wars with us. That didn't work out too good for Combat Systems a lot of times.
Yeah, well,
where's that vibration?
You guys had the fucking hot water supply right there.
Well, the fucking deck monkeys, they fucking went with us one time. With Combat Systems trying to take us on, deck went with us.
Well, all you subhumans tend to stick together. I get that. It's fine. You despise your betters. It's a normal reaction.
Because it pissed off the fucking deck monkeys, because that was always our thing. It's daring deck, deck C, but OD division fucking Brother Wars. The comments like, we want to play.
Well, the deck monkeys were above us. The engineers were below us. So, it's like, even playing field, We were
y'all was forward of the ship. We was aft.
No, bro. We were just below deck division. We were aft. We were above Aux 3, I think.
Deck. See, it was
deck.
See, it was SHs, SKs above us, and nobody was below us except for the female berthing. That was aft.
We were in the back. We were in the back. Like we were aft of the galley. So
Combat Systems was underneath engineering because some of deck slept with the SHs and the SKs. Then it was engineering, and then it was
I was forgetting about someone below us, but
right. So see,
but you also have berthing,
and then
all the way down.
Aft, right before you got to the HT shop, when you go out from engineering, was the females.
Females, yes. But deck, they slept forward.
Most of deck and ops slept up forward, but there was also some that stayed back aft because of battle berthings, and then you had the forward female underneath them.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of deck up above us.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. It was deck, engineers, and then us down.
Yeah, because it was like supply was like right there where the vending machines were, because that's where we'd fucking get the doors, and then that was
Well, the reason why some of deck, if I remember correctly, the reason why some of deck was in the SKs and SHs above us, they ran out of berthing space for.
Yeah,
because of the females.
No, this is before the females.
Oh, was
females that come on in 98.
Yeah.
All right, I was there for that. I came on with the females. Not that it's connected. Fuck off. But I was there at the same time.
I mean, do you guys remember the most famous SH Noble?
Yes, I remember Noble.
Big black dude that found a penis pump in his rack.
Yep.
Laid up beside him.
Yep.
Good shit.
I didn't realize Noble fucking went from deck to fucking SH.
Yeah.
And once he became an SH and in charge of the mail, he never forgot that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want mail, motherfuckers?
He got in fucking trouble for it.
No, Noble was not in charge of that. We had PC.
No, he fucking did mail too. He was part of the PC side.
Well,
yeah, he was.
But Johnson was the one in charge of it. PC Johnson was the one in charge of it.
Might have been, but he's still there.
Because we had the first PC we had, well, me and Rocky got there was an older black guy. Can't remember his name. You know,
does seem to be a theme.
Then Johnson took over the PC side, and then Nobles went cross-rated to SH.
Yeah.
You know, took the test because he didn't want out deck division.
Right. All right, gentlemen, I think it's about time to close it out.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good talk.
Indeed it has.
Absolutely.
Thanks for everyone for getting here. I'm going to ring us off right now, okay?
Yep.
Roger that, buddy.
Oh, before you get off, Beck, we'll ask you something too afterwards.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad.
All right. Is everybody ready?
All right, ring it off.
Pfeiffer's departing.